Oh, we're making so many jokes about how fat you guys are in your t-shirt.
All Norm does is
He loves
awesome
us, he
to
praises
us.
Norm,
us.
your
He
shirt.
set up a fan
Norm.
club for me, and I love
A
it.
fan club.
A van
Yeah,
club.
yeah. I'm in there
Norm,
every
here's
day.
what happened. Your shirt, look at the tag. What does the tag say? I'll wait until you type it. Do you have your Halloween shirt with you, or do you know what brand it is?
Well, he doesn't have it on. I know that.
Oh, he doesn't have it on. Well, he could have it on the table. But it's next level. And as I was telling Tom, fat people will never get to the next level.
Oh.
You need to be, as Tom said, first level. The music makes it okay. The music makes the like 70s disco.
We probably should have warned everybody that we
We're
got
tired today.
we printed these shirts with Enemy. Enemy uses Next Level a lot, and Next Level.
Oh, the villain, you mean?
Villain.
Villain.
I'm sorry.
I went to
Villain.
Enemy today. Well, I didn't. I was on my way to
that's
Villain.
We're
right.
all over the place,
Yeah, we're
guys.
fucking
I'm
everything up.
tired.
Yeah, Tom's tired.
We
But-
took yesterday off.
Did you have sex last night? Please
You know
tell-
people think
Come on,
that, right?
Boof it.
Hey.
Yeah.
But that's not why I'm tired.
That's the good
Boofing
kind
on
of
the
tired.
brain.
Buffing on the brain, he boofed all night. Can't get in there. His pussy. I was gonna say his pussy's tight. Why was I gonna say
You
that?
can say that. It's
It's
fine.
I forget that
Is your pussy
It's
tight?
his outside pussy.
His outside
Max's
pussy.
cross country is Tuesdays and
It's
Thursdays.
destroying his family.
Oh.
Cross country is destroying the Van family.
And it's just so like that extra hour earlier.
it means a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
You know what time Andrea gets up every morning, and I hate it. And I had the same argument with her today, 5:30.
That's early,
I'm like, yeah, stop that.
Yeah, but she doesn't drink and stay. I'm like, and then so next thing you know,
Ooh, Norm's switching to Dan Club.
What?
Instead of the
I didn't do nothing to you.
instead of a
Daniel brought it
van
up.
club,
Hold
a
on.
Dan Club.
No, hold on. Keep the Van Club going.
No,
I
shut
visit it
down.
every day.
It's the Dan Club now.
I took out my old picture album and
took
found
out my old picture album.
like I go under the China hutch and then look through the albums and take it out. It was the most work I've ever done.
Hutch. That's my
And then found some old
David,
drunky jumping photos, and then I put
I
it.
was very shocked because I was like, where did he? Do you just have those laying around?
Hold on, you're in the Van Club too?
Yeah, bro.
I'm
I've
not
been,
a- am I
I've been
in
a
there?
founding member.
I didn't know that.
Am I in the Van Club?
No, you're out of there.
Well, have I ever been in it?
No,
I don't
no.
know.
You have,
Put me in there.
you have
Get
to
me in
pledge
it.
allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the Van Club.
I
No,
pledge
no,
allegiance
the
to
United
Tom
States
Van.
of I'm tired.
Let me see
And
if
to
I
the
can add
Republic,
you.
I can't stand one nation. Doesn't believe in God.
All right, I'm gonna invite you, Dan.
When I was going under or looking through my photo album, there's a lot of good photos in there, and I found the photo of me
Doing the flip.
No, with the shaved head
Yes.
on the
Why did you
airboat.
post
King
that?
Kong Bundy.
Oh, that's embarrassing.
King Kong airboat.
Yeah, that's
I
what
wanna
this
show
club
it
is
to
for.
You want me to show it to you?
Yes.
Oh.
Will
Fuck yes.
will you send it to me, or are you just gonna
I'll
show it?
I'll
to
send
me?
it to you. You can
If
put it
you
on
sh-
Twitch.
if you send it to me,
Put it to
I'll
the group chat.
Photoshop
Put it to the group chat.
It's so bad.
Can we make a T-shirt out of it?
Yes.
You
No,
bald
okay,
on a
well,
T-shirt.
it's so
And
bad.
hey, what if we did you? Okay, follow. Joke shirts
I
have
look
dried
like-
up. Hold on. This is a good idea.
I look like a young
You-
boy.
What if I
Nazi.
put you with a shaved head on the shirt and it just says Jim Colbert underneath? Young Jim.
It,
Let me see. You said you look like
I sent it to you.
Oh, you sent it to me. You look
Yeah.
like a young Nazi.
Yeah. It's
Old skinhead Tom.
Oh yeah, my wife's sending a picture of my gorgeous my back doctor. He's gorgeous.
Oh, didn't send it to
Oh,
me.
Dice Man just texted me. How's your back, dude? Got my injection yesterday.
Oh,
Speaking of
just
backs,
reading
my back
texts.
is killing me too.
No.
Mine too. Let's get that massage therapist back here
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he can scrape you good.
Scrape me good.
Oh man, I don't know. My son's.
I'm gonna be at a fucking music festival all weekend. I'm gonna be dead when I come back.
What are your sons gonna be for Halloween?
Tommy is a
Among
blow
Us?
up Among Us, but
Again?
then Max.
Again.
But no, this is a blow up one. Like it's
That's
a
the one he
big-
originally wanted.
Yeah.
Finally,
Mention
got
that.
it. He
That
got
way
it a
he can
year
hide.
later. Got it a year
That way
later.
he can hide.
And then Max is
Hiding in the balloon.
Yep.
is a small boy strapped to a rocket, inflatable. You've seen those, right? Like
Oh yes.
It's which now he wants to change it to Among Us. He doesn't like the rocket inflatable.
Why did he pick the rocket?
Does it look like a penis?
Why
No,
did,
no,
why
it's
did he
not-
pick the rocket? Why is he?
Because I think he wanted it to be different at the time, and then now he lucked out, and his rocket motor just disintegrated. Like the fan that keeps the thing, like it started wobbling, and then now won't keep inflated. So Crystal has to return it to Party City.
And get him a new one.
Party City.
And then
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna get a
I
Among Us
know.
and the two Among Us. They're gonna be Among Us until they're 35, and then they'll
Jesus
leave.
fucking Christ.
Yeah, I
Mine's not much any better, but Maisie did pick a costume that was not dancer.
What is it?
She's been a Maisie before. She's been a dancer before. She's been a kid that goes to school before. She always does like something practical. This year she is a glitter witch.
All right.
What is that?
So it's like a witch, but instead of being an ugly witch, she's like a cute witch that has like black and pink and, like a fashion witch. It's like a witch, but not the...
It's just an alt
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, she's like a gothy witch girl. It's cute. But she has a broom. She has a broom. She has like stockings. She has a hat. She has a witch costume, like a witch. I don't know what witches wear. Witch clothes.
Yeah. Some sort of
Witchy pants.
tattered black.
No, they're more like, she looks like, kind of like Vampirina.
Oh, it's
With
a cool
It's
pop.
like Cool Witch.
Pop witch,
Yeah, it's a pop witch. There you go. Pop witch.
not like a scary ghoul.
No.
Yeah.
And then we had the book parade this morning, and she was Dolly Parton. She looked great.
No, that's funny.
That's Dolly
What?
Parton.
Okay.
Well, send me a picture of Maisie as Dolly Parton.
All right, I'll send it to you. right now.
now this
Don't
is,
you ask.
Well, I'm
Don't
just
you
saying
dare.
this is inappropriate.
It is.
Yeah.
Don't
And
say
I
it.
shouldn't even say it.
Did I
I'm
stuff
telling
her?
you not to.
Did I stuff her titties?
Yeah, but
Someone's gonna clip this.
It's almost.
stuffed her titties.
Okay, well, I was about to,
It's Dolly Parton. What am I going to do? If she were John Holmes, I'd put a dick in her pants. What are you
no,
talking about?
no. But I'm just saying, how could you even be Dolly Parton without
Well,
exaggerated?
first and foremost, she is one of America's greatest songwriters, sir.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, like the character of like.
Western dress, ukulele
Big blonde
with
hair.
she had, we curled her hair big.
Sequins, tassels, cowboy
She
hat.
does have sequins. She does have
Boots.
tassels. She has fringe. She has boots.
Guitar,
Guitar
perhaps?
with guitar strap.
See, look at that.
And book
you
that
could-
says, "Hey, I'm Dolly Parton."
But you could argue that could be a wide array of different
Oh yeah.
country.
I wanted the
Artists.
Littlest Whorehouse in Texas, Dolly Parton. Wasn't
just
that a
like-
movie? The Littlest Whorehouse in Texas?
And also, Dolly Parton knows what she did. Like she
Her
is,
titties?
she
Yeah.
made them that way.
She has
and,
ginormous titties.
and she is known
for her titties.
Yeah.
It goes music number one, but close second is titties.
It's almost sexist if you don't do it, because then what are you like? Why are you trying to hide it?
Yeah.
Like this is what she looks like.
Exactly. That's what I
It's
tell
baby
Mike.
Dolly.
That's what I tell Mike B. Yeah, it was a baby dolly, so there were no titties because the book is all from like her growing up's perspective. So she's like a young girl
Coat
with
of many colors. Or
yeah,
whatever the
coat
hell.
of many colors. Yeah, you got it. You got it.
She's had
I got Gwaltney.
crazy, amazing career.
Yeah.
One of the
Like,
greatest. One of the absolute greatest. Yeah, there he is.
Walt.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, buddy. Good
I'm
seeing
doing all right.
Yeah, we're doing
Yeah.
great, man. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
All right. Let's talk humidor. Let's talk cigars. And then let's meander into sports.
Oh,
You good, buddy?
Well, hey, whatever you guys want to do it, man.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you like to start, Mr. Van?
let's do it.
What's our timing on this? I think we need, what, 16?
I forgot where we're putting it now. Thursday 3, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Thursday
Thursday
3.
two.
Okay, we're in.
Or two.
Two.
We did 3
Thursday-
and 4, yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
2.
We are in bad shape today.
That's
Yeah,
fine. That's
we
fine.
are. We're all right. We got this. All right, 3, 2.
Welcome back to a corporate time. We've got Chris Gwaltney on the line. How you doing, Chris?
Doing outstanding. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Man. Really, really good.
Of course, the humidor.com. Now's the time to start thinking about
It
those
is.
Christmas gifts.
End of October is, well, actually, for most people, this is your final warning to start grabbing the gifts that are going to be out of stock when you go to get them in mid-November.
And, you know, so many people are hard to buy for, but if you know someone in your life that smokes cigars, I feel like you can't go wrong with a gift from the humidor.com, right?
Yeah.
Chris, like, you smoke cigars, obviously. If someone gives you cigars as a gift, it's you a home run every single time, right?
Yeah, you can't mess it up. Look. Even if it's a cigar you don't smoke, the fact is, cigars are a very personal thing, right? So the fact that someone even tried and gave you a cigar, even if it's not one that you smoke, maybe it's too strong, maybe it's not a flavor profile you like, or maybe it's a strength category that you don't really like, a cigar person is they're just gonna be very grateful and very happy, and they're gonna keep it and they're gonna put it in their collection, because if you're a cigar person, you're constantly giving cigars. When people come over, you're the cigar guy, so they expect you to always have cigars with you. So it's one that you can give to someone if it's a little too mild for you, or like I said, maybe it's a flavor profile that's not for you. It can go into your stash of giveaways, cigars. So
And you guys always have bundles on there and
Absolutely.
curated gifts and like,
Right.
oh, this is new, or a feature of the week. I mean, there's forever stuff on there that you can kind of wander on the site and find just about anything and everything. I do have a sports-related cigar question, not to pivot hard,
Okay.
but I'm watching Tennessee
Yeah,
over
Yeah,
Alabama.
that was coming.
And I watched what I thought to be, what looked to be 100,000 people all collectively smoking cigars. And I'm like, this is insane. I'm seeing Peyton Manning and he's tooting it into the, and everybody. And I'm like, how did that happen? How did that start? And I would give my left foot to have had premium cigars in a cart downtown and be pushing a cart around and just be selling them like crazy and making nothing but money, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a tradition. Unfortunately for Tennessee, has only been enjoyed by Alabama for the last 15 years.
Yeah,
has it been since they
15.
won?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's something that goes way back. And I always kind of get excited because the Tennessee Alabama game, you're always going to see pictures. It's usually almost always Alabama players smoking cigars in the locker room after they beat Tennessee. But I'll tell you this year it got more play just because there was so much more focus on this game. It was at Tennessee. Game day was there. Game day did segments. I mean, you literally had them talking about cigars on College game day, which is, for our industry, is absolutely amazing, because we are treated like evil, the evil product, and we kind of get lumped in with cigarettes, and tobacco has pretty much been banned on all platforms. And it's just, it's ridiculous. But whenever you can get cigar love in the media, it's really awesome. And that's probably the best publicity on that scale on national television, with that many eyes watching. The best advertising the cigar industry's gotten since I can remember.
It was everywhere. Every woman, man. I didn't see any children, but I'm sure there were at least a couple people that had handed their child a cigar.
I always imagine and I call them kids, but they're not kids, but the college players on Tennessee. that watched Peyton Manning like they're growing up, like when they were 10 years old,
I
like
think
watching
he looks
football.
really good right now too. I don't know what he did over the last year, but
and he's more famous than ever.
his
because,
head looks more regular. It's not as humongo, and he looks pretty good, man.
That the Eli and Peyton cast that they do on Monday night is blown up bigger than
People
ever.
love it.
And so imagine as a player, like a college player, you beat Alabama, you're in the locker room, and you're smoking cigars, and Peyton Manning is there.
Yeah.
Like
It's crazy.
How much of a dream that is. Like, I grew up watching this guy. And now I beat Alabama, and I'm in my locker room smoking a cigar.
Have you guys ever got to see somebody meet their hero for the first time?
I've never even had a hero.
I have one instance.
So I don't even know.
I have one instance. I have one instance where I got to see this, and it ties into sports. I got to see, and he had just made it into the NFL. I got to see Dante Culpepper meet Dusty Rhodes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
with Dante Culpepper's mom. She wasn't there, but he called her on the phone and handed the phone to Dusty Rhodes, and I thought the dude was going to cry. Imagine me, 5'2", Dante Culpepper. I don't even know how tall he is.
Oh, yeah,
he's a mammoth of a man.
6'4" and a half.
But it looked like he was going to burst into tears. So what you're describing of these people, like if you're standing in the Tennessee locker room having that happen, I'm surprised that people weren't crying.
But even after something you've achieved is
Right.
great, and now like this,
and your hero standing there
it's
celebrating
crazy.
with you. But anyway, yeah, that was a heck of a game, and we got another big one coming up for Tennessee, right? Who were they?
Well, this week the big game is it's usually the big game is Florida Georgia, right?
Yes.
But no, yeah, Tennessee still got I think Georgia's the last big game on their schedule. They've kind of handled everything else. So.
Nice.
I know nothing about college
I
football.
wish I did.
But I do know about gambling, and I
Do
love.
you? I thought we determined you know.
Well, everybody has a bad week, but I love fading a team after a huge win like this, like a huge, gigantic emotional win and the party and stuff, especially the college kids. I would fade Tennessee, but again, I don't know anything about college football. I do know about professional football, and I wanted to ask you, Chris, is I love betting against narratives. And the biggest narrative right now is the anti-Tom Brady narrative that's going on, and the fact that he doesn't care anymore, or is like
he
his
clearly cares because he throws fits in every
Well,
game. You know what I mean?
And his head's not in the game.
Yeah, my
and
daughter throws fits, but I don't think she cares.
and it's like,
I think they're just fits.
and it's a great sports media narrative to have because everybody loves the downfall.
Well,
of
who's
a
he got
king,
this
right?
week? Ravens.
Yeah, the Ravens at home. And so now the Ravens have been back and forth.
We've been waiting on the bounce
Tonight.
back, right? We've been
So-
waiting on the bounce back.
So without knowing, when you get into specifics and like, the how the defenses match up and like certain player personnel and like things more complicated than I can understand.
Sure.
I just like betting against the narrative that Tom Brady has somehow.
So you think this is the
trying
bounce back?
less.
The bounce back will be coming tonight.
And now the only thing that scares me is the fact that the Panthers beat them, although there is the competition in the NFL is super even with a lot of these teams, and like any team can be beaten at any game.
Look at how surprisingly, well, to my surprise, look at how great, great with a dash of like an asterisk around it. My Falcons, right? They're trash beginning of the season, but they've actually been pretty fun to watch lately,
Well,
not bad.
Well, yeah, and then narrative on them were it was a rebuild year.
They're the worst of the worst.
And they were going to just basically tank the season for draft picks. So anyway, Chris, what do you feel about that narrative that Tom Brady is
Not in it.
with the divorce, and he doesn't care as much as he did. Now, there are some evidence to support that, obviously missing the walkthrough and doing some Tom Brady type things that he normally wouldn't do, but the over, I feel like him not caring or not having his heart in it anymore, like all these different headlines,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's ridiculous.
What do you think, Chris?
No, I don't think it's a Brady problem. If you remember the end of Peyton's career, that last year that Peyton played with the Broncos, you could tell he lost it, right? I mean, he just didn't have zip on the ball. He had a hard time throwing the ball down the field, and they won that with defense. And you look at Brady and from mechanically and ability to throw the football, it hasn't really changed much.
No.
I mean, he still looks pretty good. He still makes good decisions. He's not as mobile inside the pocket anymore and moving around and being able to buy himself time. So he's really dependent on his offensive line of giving him time to throw the football. And he needs guys to make plays for him. I mean, there's been a lot of drop balls. I mean, they've shown the Mike Evans drop, time and time again.
They keep showing it. I was like, that was weeks ago.
Drop balls seem to be always something that has plagued the Bucs. It even goes back to Winston when Jameis was there. I mean, he made plenty of mistakes on his own, but then he'd make a play and the guy drop a ball, and then the next play he'd throw a pick. I mean, those things do kind of seem to steamroll a little bit. I don't really think this is on Brady. If I had to put my money, with all things considered, I'd be leaning towards the way you're doing it, because Brady over Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is, to me, and I know I'll get killed for this. People say you're a hater because you're an old fuddy-duddy guy who doesn't like running quarterbacks. I don't have an issue with running quarterbacks, but I want quarterbacks to be able to see things through the quarterback's eyes. And if you watch Lamar Jackson play a lot of times, you watch him, he misses a lot of things that the average, above average quarterback is going to see and make plays on. And a lot of quarterbacks do that. That's what separates the average ones from the great ones. And I think Lamar is able to put himself in that conversation in the upper tier by being able to make up for those mistakes with his legs, right? But there'll come a time where that doesn't
right.
always work.
You can't do it anymore. Right.
Out. Murray's finding that out in Arizona. I mean, you watch him play, and he just misses a lot of stuff, and he tries to extend plays and ends up taking these ridiculous sacks and putting the team behind the stick. So I'm going to go Brady anytime over in a matchup of between quarterbacks, between him and Lamar Jackson.
Now, I will say I heard a great handicap about if you are betting Baltimore, just bet Baltimore first half, because it seems like especially at Tampa and Baltimore don't play that often. So with defense not seeing Lamar that often, it's hard to adjust to him, and it takes a while, usually the first half of the game, before they realize like how fast Lamar Jackson really is. Like, Lamar goes to run.
You got to get a couple plays under your belt and really know what you're dealing with here.
Well, yeah, because
the guy's ridiculous.
You're so used to a quarterback, like, okay, he's going to run
a couple steps,
and you're like, oh, this guy's turning the corner.
Oh my God!
So you're like, oh, I got to play a little outside to make sure he doesn't turn the corner on me.
Yeah.
And then I've heard that if you're going to bet Baltimore, bet them first half. But I do like betting against the narrative that Brady has somehow lost it in one game, because there's no evidence to show that. If there was a bunch of like bad passing and bad decision making that they could point at, I haven't seen any of that in Sports Center or anything. Like, oh, look at all these wobblers he's throwing. He can't throw the deep ball. All I've seen is like drop passes.
Even
and
beyond that,
him screaming at his offense.
Nobody's talking about it, right? Like nobody's saying it. Is my point.
And also, Brady doesn't strike me, if he's screaming at his offensive line, I don't think it's his fault. Right, he knows football, right? So he's not gonna be screaming at him.
Well, they actually sat there and took it too, which led me to believe that they knew what was right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like if you're yelling at me, I'm a grown ass man, and you're throwing stuff and yelling at me, and I'm right, I'm gonna yell back at you, and you're not gonna like it.
And finally, Chris, one more thing I had to talk to. This is less of a actual sports thing, but more of a personality thing. Have you seen the Russell Wilson hate that's been going around the internet and what he's been doing? Sam, have you seen the report?
I saw him. Well, we're playing him Sunday in London, so I saw him working out on the plane. I thought that's pretty funny little memes of him with kettlebells and stuff.
Have you heard this?
He's working out on the plane.
So
he's working out on the flight to try to get prepared for the game. Everyone's asleep, but Russell's out. How would you like to be? Of course, I'd have the aisle seat, and then I'd be right in front of, I'm trying to sleep, got your mouth open, and then there's Russell doing, lunges and
Doing
Is
stretches.
there like
Tinies.
burpees in the aisle?
Yeah.
Really?
Do you think he was
I didn't see
trolling the media when he
little
said
bit.
that, Chris? Because when like all these memes of him and the what if you read what he said, it's insane. So either he's insane or he's trolling the media, because he basically said he's like, the first hour I was watching film. He's like, then the next 4 hours I was doing high knees and workouts through the aisle of the plane, like back and forth while his teammates were sleeping. And then he said he said he got 1 hour sleep, and then he
Making sure I was ready to rock.
So I got
And
the
I'm
quote.
like, is he trolling?
I got the quote. He
No,
said,
he's a dum-dum.
I was on the plane, first 2 hours of the 8-hour flight here. I was watching film, watching all the cut-ups and everything else. And then for the next 4 hours, I was doing treatment on the plane, Wilson said. I was walking up and down the aisle. Everybody else was knocked out. I was doing high knees, working my legs and everything else, making sure I was ready to rock. That was good. Then I fell asleep.
That was good.
Then I fell asleep for 1 hour, and I watched film for the rest. I felt good to go. I like it.
All right.
Is he just saying that as a joke, or did he
I mean,
really do?
It doesn't sound real, but he also doesn't strike me as a pathological liar or a crazy person, so I think he actually did it.
But I feel like there would be some sort of either flight attendant or some other personnel that would have taken a picture of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no evidence of this at all. And everybody's got a cell phone. Is it that
Everybody's passed
So
out.
you're calling him a liar.
I'm not calling him a liar. I'm saying if like a reporter's asking you what you did, how's the flight, and then it's kind of like, remember, like you just start making up improving jokes, and then you so the media can start reporting this. But I guess, why would you make yourself look so stupid? I don't know. What is it, Chris? Like, do you think he really did this?
Russell Wilson is kind of a bit of a strange guy, and he's done some interesting things. A lot of people, I got a good friend of mine in the sports media industry, and he refers to him as Sierra's husband. He doesn't even call him Russell Wilson. So that dude that married Sierra, that's pretty much,
Interesting.
he's always kind of come across as kind of a goody two shoes kind of guy.
Really?
And he's
Corny?
and all that
Really?
stuff. And
Yeah, but
Like that guy in the NBA that was like a virgin for the longest time. I forget that guy's name.
dude, all this stuff has come out of Seattle, like of his former players.
What
like,
are they saying?
They're kind of joking around, talking trash about him. Like,
So
apparently,
they're clowning him.
apparently,
Really?
dude, Marshawn Lynch.
So
and,
he's a little bit of a goober? He's a goof?
I saw this on TikTok. Like, Marshawn Lynch and another Seattle football
Because
player.
Marshawn Lynch is cool. Like, I look at him, I'm like, you're cool.
But they were talking about how they didn't even have Russell Wilson's personal cell phone number, and they had to go through his agent or something. Like, on a podcast, they were joking around how they never had any access to Russell Wilson, which is, I guess, in the NFL absurd. Like, you're like, everybody on the team usually has the quarterback's cell phone
Well,
number.
how do you build camaraderie? and
Especially the
commitment?
offense,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, and they're.
Imagine none of us being able to talk, out, like honestly, and we just show up, like.
But I was doing high knees in my truck before I got
that's
here.
Good. You know what? You're ready to rock. You're ready to rock.
So that kind of makes me want to bet against the Broncos now, especially in how bad they've been playing, and then all this bizarro stuff comes out. Like, I mean, the Broncos team think he's a joke. I don't know. I mean, those kind of stories
That makes me kind of sad, man.
I mean,
I thought he was a badass.
they haven't.
What do you think, Chris? Have you heard all the Russell Wilson stuff?
I think his persona was probably a little bit inflated. I think they kind of I think, I'm not saying he's a fraud, but I think his great teammate and the perfect guy and all that stuff, I think, was hyped up a little bit in Seattle. And now that he's going to Denver, some of the truth has come out. It doesn't mean he's a terrible guy, but he's not the perfect teammate that everybody made him out to be.
Maybe you'd agree with this statement. Derek in our chat room says Wilson is a pretentious nerd that thinks he's cool. This has been well documented before even the trade.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was considered
Well,
sort of a jerky nerd.
Pop lock for this Sunday is I would definitely, as a Jaguars fan, and trust me, I've seen them play some bad football, but I almost guarantee the Jaguars beat outright the Denver Broncos in London. Just several factors. I mean, the Jags have played really good the last 2 weeks and just come up short. Trevor Lawrence has absolutely played. I mean, just gets better every week. His efficiency and he's not turning the ball over. And the Jags always play well in London. I mean, if you look at it, and it is a bit of an advantage because they have a system of how they go over there and get acclimated. So I think Denver's got some things going against them. And whether Russell Wilson was doing lunges and kettlebells in the aisle on the flight, I don't think it's going to matter. The only way they're winning is, they don't have Marshawn Lynch and a bag of Skittles. So I would definitely pick the Jaguars this week. So I would put that in my. You got fantasy players on the Jaguars.
Travis Etienne.
Maybe not at QB, but
you got
Etienne. Christian Kirk's going to have a big game this week. I think. I just got a feeling.
Oh, well, also Etienne is going to have a monster game, especially with
true. They moved on. They moved on from Robinson. We'll turn this into Jags talk, but they haven't used him much, and they moved on from him. Etienne had a costly fumble earlier in the game, took away some points, but has really played really well, and it's kind of each game has gotten better and better, and is an integral part of that offense. And he's the kind of running back that Doug Peterson wants to have. So from a fantasy standpoint, dude, he's going to be that guy. He's that Marshall Faulk guy that catches the ball, that runs the ball. He's going to be in every phase of the game. He'll line up in the slot. He'll do a lot of stuff, and he's going to be the number one option. So he's definitely a guy from a fantasy perspective that'll be next year will be one of those top tier picks just because of the amount of touches he gets and the type of offense that the Jaguars are going to play. Jaguars are going to throw the ball 50 times, but you got to realize, that a 10 to 12 of those throws are going to be an extension of the running game, that short passing game that's just like the running game, and Etienne's going to get most of those catches. It'll go between him and the tight ends. They do some receiver screens, they do a lot of tight end screen stuff, but he's going to be factored in that. So
cool.
Well, all you ETN owners, rejoice, man. I think this weekend is going to be good for Mr. ETN, and I think Christian Kirk's going to have a good week as well.
All right, buddy.
Chris Gwaltney, it's been great talking to you. We again, it's thehumidor.com. Use promo code Tom and Dan. And Chris, we'll see you again, man.
All right, brother. Y'all take it easy.
All right, you too, my friend. Take care.
All right, man.
I did it again. Why do I always do that?
It's fine.
I get jumpy on the button. I'm like, time to go. Oh, let me get you out of here. Okay, get out of here.
No, because if you let it lag on longer, then it's even more awkward. It's like, I'm still here. It's like,
I can hear you.
like Savannah Solo, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
Got it? All right. 21 minutes.
21 minutes.
That's number 2.
Yes.
Thursday 2. What's next?
Let's just do Thursday 1.
Crystal posted that photo of your shaved head in the BDM group.
Well, how did she know we were talking about
I don't know.
I gotta look it up.
She's a witch.
I mean, hold on.
That's fucked up.
Was she listening to me?
I don't know. I didn't see her in the chat room.
I didn't tell her to post it.
Bright white Planet Fitness shirt on.
I was wearing free shirts from the radio station. Oh man, it's so bad. By the way, we're standing on an airboat.
Is that what? Okay.
Yeah. We're taking a romantic sunset photo.
I really love it.
With a guy named Sledneck or Sledrock.
My boyfriend.
Sledneck.
My boyfriend has cancer.
He's working on Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness, thank you for paying for
man.
my husband's chemotherapy.
Why did she post that?
When I said I didn't want TC to go bald, this is why she said.
That's messed up, man.
It's not good.
It is not good.
That's fucked up.
Well, who really looks good with a shaved head? Especially white dudes don't at all.
Some white dudes can pull it off.
Save image as Baldo.
The problem is you need to be, I can't probably just, I don't have the facial structure.
You're attractive. What are you talking
No.
about? You are.
It's,
Hold on.
I need
Your head's bigger than, I think your hair makes your head not look as big. It's weird. It looks bigger without hair.
That's odd.
I think because your pump's so tall that it's like proportional to your head. I don't know.
But then
It
you go
thins
and
it
you
out.
cut
Yeah.
the pump, and the pump that you realize that his head was the same
All
size
head.
as the
It's all
pump,
head,
and
yeah.
the hair was like literally just painting on the outside. It's just a coating.
Hold on, let me get.
I want to put this up so everybody can see it. I'm gonna help you guys here. All right, now let me go to the Baldo photo, and there you go. I can probably zoom in on it a little bit. There he is. There's Baldo. For your viewing pleasure. Why is that so funny? Standing on an airboat, Planet Fitness
He looks like
t-shirt.
American History X.
This is Crystal's bit. No hair Thursday. Yeah, I think Crystal looks the same too. You have like sleepy eyes. Yeah, in this photo. Your eyes are kind of sleepy.
Were you drunk? Sleepy Tom.
So hold on, Crystal's commenting. Excuse me.
There's a funny story about that day.
Beautiful. All right. We're going to finish this up, do a little quick 20 here.
Yeah. I could tell the story about that.
Yeah, let's do it. Because I forget it. Here we go. I'll bring us back. And 3. Or this is a start, right? Because it's
Yes.
1. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll start. 3, 2. It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Hello, Sam.
Hi.
And let's plug something for the masses. Let's get out our just our information. What do we got to say here?
Well, you could book our Air T&D. In fact, it's still open this weekend for
Wow,
Halloween
that's
weekend.
surprising.
Yeah, I know. And there's tons of Halloween parties going on in Sanford. I'm telling you, walk off the front porch and then you are at the bars.
What bar is directly behind it? The one that's to the left?
That's the wine bar.
Yeah, so
then next door is Murphy's Arcade.
Yeah, and you can go through their back entrance because it's a patio in the back. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
literally have an entrance to the bar, like a private entrance to the bars in Sanford.
And then right across is Wops Hops,
Yep.
and like there's a line of bars with Murphy's Arcade, and then it goes down all the way, and then I know Buster's Bistro's there. West End is like 2
Celery
minutes down.
City is
Yeah,
down
yeah.
there. Holomox is down there for your
Yeah,
food and Bavarian beer if you want to get some
Yeah.
delicious German beer.
You do not need a car when you're staying at the Airbnb.
No, but you can rent a golf cart and use that to take yourself
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the house and everywhere else if you want to do that.
You could even now rent a Tom and Dan golf
We
cart.
forgot about it. We do
Yeah.
so many things. We forget about the things we do. We have
Yeah.
a house and a golf cart, and
Yeah.
we have children you can purchase. We have children for purchase. Anything you want. We can do anything. Hot air balloons, rockets.
So,
Why is my new screensaver you bald from
Okay.
1999 or something?
No,
What is this?
No, this is from 2005, 6, 2007, something like that. So
You have a good hairline.
I have a renewed interest in social media now that Norm, who's in our Twitch chat room.
That started the Dan Club.
Yeah, no, it's a Tom.
No, he shut that down. He switched
No,
it.
it's not.
It was the Van Club, but he switched it to the Dan
Well,
Club.
okay, but yesterday it was the the Tom Van Club, and it was a Tom Van fan club on Facebook, and it had 50 members, and it was celebrating
That's a lot.
The Life and Times of Tom Van.
Okay.
And then so I looked
What's
at there.
there to celebrate?
Oh, there's a lot of stories I got to tell.
Oh, okay, all right.
So then
I thought we were just ticking off milestones,
and,
you know?
And then I was like, well, I'm going to give them something a little extra. I'm going to go.
Give them something to talk about.
I'm going to go in my old photo albums and then find the one because Crystal made me
Oh,
like
the stories weren't enough. Now you have to have visual representation.
I'm going to find Crystal.
This guy can't answer text to me, but
No.
he's
Oh, I know.
digging out old photos.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he's back there dressed as Drunk in the Bear doing a remember when, and we're trying, the whole company is crumbling. And you're
Remember,
like-
let's
you're
do
like-
this now.
Yeah, you're like, help,
The
help.
company's
I
flailing.
need you to help with this. And he's back there like Chevy Chase in the attic in Christmas Vacation. He's watching the movies, and he's crying.
I got a fur coat.
Yeah, he's got a fur coat on to keep him warm, and he's crying.
So then I found this old photo album that Crystal made me back in the Heroin Alley House days. There was a whole photo
That's all
album.
you guys could give each other. You didn't have any money. You're like, here's some photos of horrible memories.
But it was all the Drunky the Bear stuff that, because a lot of times when I first started interning, there was no, cameras, or cell phones didn't have cameras or whatever. It was all pictures. And it was
Right.
all like developed film pictures
Right.
at CVS. So anyway, there's a whole, from in my intern days to like some of the stunts I did at Do Action Sports Tour and at Monster Jam or whatever. And then this picture was in one of them, and it's me with a shaved head because 2 days prior, Tiffany at Mako's, because I had a Mako's gig every
She's
Saturday
a mother
night.
now, sir.
She shaved my head. She was a Mako's girl, and she got off the swing and shaved my head.
Why?
Well,
I remember. Wasn't I there when she shaved it?
maybe I can't remember.
think I was because
drunk.
didn't you have to go back over it again because it was originally like
Well,
you had that choppy
lumpy
chop.
bumpy,
Yeah,
yeah.
lumpy bumpy choppy chop.
She was supposed to shave it with a 4 or 5 clipper, and then when we were on the stage, they had this little tiny stage I used to backflip off, and there's like a mirror behind it.
Yeah, I
and
remember that.
I don't even know what it was like staged specifically
Yeah.
for bikini contests.
Yeah,
or
it was
something.
literally just a stage to objectify a woman. It was like
It was 2
that's
feet
a
wide.
woman stage. What do we do with it? Well, the woman stands there and we
We-
oogle
yeah.
her body.
Yeah. And there's a mirror
Yeah,
behind
yeah,
her.
so we can see her ass.
All angles, yeah.
And when she turns around to hide her ass, we can see it again.
And then, so for whatever reason, I forgot what the hell it was. It's all a blur. She
Probably involved Joey Mazan.
she started shaving my. I didn't even know him back
The
then.
ghost of Joey Mazan and your dumb betting. It's,
God damn it,
it's
I
always
forgot
been
about
the
that.
same. Nothing has changed.
Oh.
You guys think things have changed? This is the same crap, just grayer sideburns. Me too. I'm talking about me. Just what am I? I'm shorter and fatter. There you go. Same crap. Same crap. Shorter and fatter.
Like he's doing the buddy's voice. That's just his
Yeah.
voice.
Shorter and fatter. Shorter and fatter.
Anyway, so she shaved like a line into my head on a 0.
Oh.
And then the clipper wasn't on there. And then the drunken melee at Mako's.
You know what? That was a nice description.
I think I was just like, go ahead and shave the rest or whatever.
Oh, you were like, it looked horrible. I think I was there, and I think
Yeah.
I remember you
then-
saying, oh, I'll get Crystal to fix it. I'll get Crystal to fix it. And I think Tiffany was doing her laughing, like, oh, she's like, okay. And then she did her best. And then
Oh.
Autumn with a bottom was there. I
Autumn
remember
with
this,
the bottom.
dude. Oh,
Oh,
that
man.
girl.
Oh, man.
Holy crap.
What is she up to? Look her up.
I tried. I've tried
I
so
don't
many
think her
times.
last name is the bottom.
Oh, that's what I
Well,
tried.
I've typed in every
Tiffany knows her.
spelling. I've typed in every spelling of the bottom, and I can't find her.
Anyway, so
Virtually certain, though, that she is married, and her husband has a big truck.
Okay, all
I'm
right,
just
makes
gonna
sense.
guess.
Makes sense.
I'm
Sounds
gonna
right,
say,
that sounds
in
right.
fact, I'm putting that into the universe. She is married with children now, still beautiful. Husband has a big truck.
So my head is shaved now on a 0, and it looks horrible, right? And I woke up the next morning, and Crystal's mad. There's a long line of her being mad
You
at
know
my
what? It's not
decision
fair
making.
for you to constantly bring up her being mad as if her being mad is what fuels you. You are fueling the anger in her.
You
see what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I know.
Snake eating its
Yeah,
tail
yeah.
again. You guys are trapped in this perpetual motion.
Because she's like, "Why did you do this?"
Correct. You didn't have to do that.
Also, at the time, I was getting $100 less because I agreed to.
Ooh.
I know. Was
you know, you look like that stroke guy that did the debate against Dr. Oz. You look like Fetterman. Isn't that the guy's that? You look like that. You look like that guy.
So, anyway, then this weekend that this picture was taken, we were doing these charity events where someone would bid on some sort of, it was just a bowl-a-thon, I don't know, but it was like, hey,
so much bidding.
By the way,
many.
I like
events.
how the Clear Channel asked me to do so much for charity. By the way, I was getting paid nothing. Like I had a working poor $20,000 a year or something like that.
Not even.
Like
should have had a bowl-a-thon for you.
Dude, you weren't getting
it's like-
25. You were part-time.
No, I know, but $20,000 a year, like you can't make a living off of that. Anyway, so it may have been less. I know Tiffany at one time was making like $12,000 a year for multiple years.
Yeah.
Like $12,000 a
And
year.
most of her events, she had to ride a pogo stick at. That's insane.
Yeah.
And,
Most professional pogo stick people make more money than that.
So anyway, we were doing these charity things, and every time we do one, I would just say like, "Hey," I'd ask the listeners like, "Hey, does a listener have anything they want to like invite me to?" And then I'll invite the another listener, and then we'll all go. You'll donate the trip, and then we'll donate the money that they paid to charity. That's how we still do it.
Right.
Still
Yeah,
say that.
this is what we do now. Same thing.
So then
Fatter and shorter.
I got an email from this guy like, "Hey, I run airboat tours. I'll offer an airboat tour, a sunset airboat tour."
I know what you're thinking. Most airboat guys don't have email. I'm in the future.
And his name, like I said, his name was Sledneck or something like that. And
It was sledding.
like I said, I'll go on any tour with anybody.
Except the ghost tour. Except the ghost tour.
No,
He will not do ghost tours.
But like, if anybody said like, "Hey, this is a tour where I take you out in a truck in the middle of nowhere," I'll just be like, "Yes, sign me up." Like I'll trust anybody. So I tell this other, and by the way, the listeners probably think that this is some radio station event thing that's been vetted by them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the listeners bid on it. It was like they bid $1,200 for Drunk in the Bears airboat tour, sunset airboat tour.
Oh man, were they disappointed?
By the way, this was just some email I got from a stranger that I said,
Sledneck.
"Oh yeah,
Sledneck,
yeah."
Sledneck.
So, but they probably think it's set up by $1 billion corporation. Like, oh, this is all
They have
vetted.
insurance, yeah.
Yeah. The first time I met the airboat guy was the first time the listener met the airboat guy. It was a day. Like, I had no idea. I was just like, "Hey, meet me at this place. The airboat tour starts at 5:30. So I had the bald head, whatever. We get on the airboat tour, and there was a super nice. I think they were from England. Like the people that
Jolly good, get on me airboat. All right, you're right.
No.
You're right.
Well, not the,
You're right.
the tour guide Sledneck was not from England.
Oh, okay.
he was from Kissimmee.
Okay.
Of course.
But the people who bid on me, the $1,200 is like a husband and wife from
Were
some
they the
other
people
country.
that always travel that are founders?
I don't know. No. I you know what? I have no idea.
Okay,
I have
all
no
right.
idea. I can't
Okay.
There you
remember.
go. Just
There you
admit
go.
the truth. You don't know.
I don't
you.
know, but I know that they were from somewhere out of town. And then we get on the airboat, and it's me and Crystal, these two people that bid
And you dressed
$1,200.
up. You had a Planet Fitness shirt on. Dude, you know what? You know what's the most remarkable thing? I'm going to put the picture back up for the listeners.
Yeah, you
the
weren't even in the bear suit.
The most
No,
remarkable
no.
thing about this picture, well, first of all, one of the most remarkable things is your wife looks exactly the same. She's a beautiful woman. The second thing is I have never seen in the history of time anyone, not one human, wear a Planet Fitness t-shirt.
I haven't either.
I've seen them thrown out.
Yep,
I've
you're
seen 'em-
absolutely correct.
I've seen people throwing
Yeah.
them out into the audience. I've seen people using them to wash their cars.
Yeah.
I've seen them hanging at Planet Fitness, but I ain't ever seen one on a person.
You're right. I haven't either.
That's how poor I was. I just wear whatever free T-shirts I got at the radio station.
Unbelievable.
Anyway, so we're riding the airboat and we are hauling ass, right? and I'm sitting. Most
I
airboats.
bet you were trying to put your hand down Krister's pants.
No.
Have her sit on your lap.
Yeah, doing like some gross thing, trying to make out with her and stuff.
Most airboats have a single seat captain's chair,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And but this was a little bit bigger tour airboat.
Yeah, it's like the three-wheelers of boats.
And it wasn't one of those tour airboats that had like multiple rows of
Yeah,
seats.
we went on
but-
one of those.
I've never been on an airboat.
It's great.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
It was
It's
a good,
great.
fun time.
Yeah, super fun.
But you
Can
gotta
we do a go-to show on an airboat?
Well,
Or
you
too
wouldn't-
loud.
But,
Too loud.
But we gotta go. But no, like the airboat, you airboat out to some swamp and then you turn it off and you drink beer. That's
Yeah.
what I know.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
and then
you
you
try to put your hand on your wife's pants.
no, and then you airboat to another spot and then you stop and you drink beer and you put your airboats together. Like that's all that
Put
I.
your airboats together.
Yeah.
side by
like
side.
Cops, you know, like cops. You
And-
do it like cops.
And you stand there and drink beer.
And you're like, how you been? I've been good. How you been?
It
I've been
all
good."
revolves around just
beer.
airboating, stopping, and drinking beer. And so anyway, this airboat had a dual captain seat where I'm actually sitting next to the captain, right?
Where's your wife?
And she's sitting in front of me, and then the people, the guests are sitting in front of her, right?
Okay.
And now we have beers or whatever, and so the airboat captain, he's like, hey, you want some beer? So we're all drinking beer, and then we're hauling ass, and then the guy, he's like, hey, drunkie. And then we're going. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, we're all wearing the earmuffs.
Yeah.
And
Ear protection.
We're all headphones, but we shoot a gun,
like gun mufflers.
Yeah. And then he's like, hey, you want some? And then I'm like, what? And then he's like, hey, and then in his front pocket was a McDonald's straw that was sticking out, right? And then in that, at the end of the McDonald's straw was cocaine.
Yeah.
That he was snorting.
Hold on, let me put the picture back up.
It's
okay,
Coke boat.
I put the picture back up. This is the head of a cokehead right here. This is a
I
shiny
didn't do
cokehead. Look at this cokehead hugging.
He
this
wanted
one.
me
You'd think you wouldn't look so
my
sleepy.
God.
Like he wanted me to lean
my
over
God.
and then
Nicaraguan marching powder.
He wanted me to lean over and then snort
it out of my pocket. It's not gay.
Adam's
Oh my
pocket
God.
through a
McDonald's
straw.
has the best straws. They're big and wide.
And then I don't do cocaine. I never have.
Somebody in the chat room called it a pocket nose blaster. Yeah, pocket nose blaster.
And then, so I was like, no, thank you. And he's like, all right, suit yourself. And then he reached down
Hey,
here.
more for me.
And-
F word for gays.
And then he was snorting it. Like, he just went down.
Yeah, that's efficiency.
And then,
That's the
That is
camel.
smart,
That's
yeah.
a camelback. That's a camelback for drug addicts.
it's a camel front. And then next thing you know, I'm looking forward and it's dry land. Like, we're going across like super shallow water, but there's like a hump of dry land. So I'm like, hey. And
It's fine. I'm on cocaine.
And as soon as I say, he looks up and he's like, oh, and then we hit dry land, which launches the beers out of our guests'
Oh, great.
hands.
Right into the lake.
No, wait, it bounces.
Oh no, Miel!
It bounces off the fan like into the and then we're like, and like we go, they can go across dry land, and then we go back into the water, and then he pretends like he's like, I did that on purpose. He's like,
That's old Cocaine Hill. I always go over Cocaine Hill when I'm doing my cocaine.
And then he pokes my ring. He's like, oh, that was a close one. Woo! So then we went and we caught baby gators, which I'm sure. And then we went and
Let's kill them.
And then we went over to this other place, and I jumped off the
I remember
airboat.
this.
And I have a picture in that same photo album that I'm afraid to post on the line because it's a federal crime to catch alligators.
Yeah.
Do
Do you have a picture of the cocaine? That's fine. That's fine. You
Yeah,
put that
that's
on
fine.
There. Yeah, put that on there.
But he let me jump off the front of the airboat, and I caught a 4-foot alligator like in my Planet Fitness
Yeah.
shirt.
Oh my
But he wasn't
God.
doing cocaine.
And then I have a picture.
Yeah,
of
This is
Cocaine
the trashiest
Yeah.
story I've ever
I
heard.
know this-
Cocaine will not make.
By the way-
Look at this guy and tell me he looks like he's on a cocaine and looking for gators to jump on.
We had to turn off all the lights, and there was like boats. This is pitch black. Now it's 8:30 at night. We're all drunk.
Oh, God.
The captain's
Are
on
the
coke.
people having fun at least? The Brits?
They're probably scared to death.
No,
now that I think about it, they probably because they were older. They were like,
British
they
people
were in
are
their
fun.
40s.
But most British people that come here to
Yeah,
on
but-
holiday, they're very fun.
Yeah, but think about it. Like
I bet they had a blast.
they're on like at this point they know something's up because like I've got a Planet Fitness shirt. my head is shaved. I caught an alligator. They probably at least
Sam
know.
loves the Planet Fitness.
They're like this.
It's not even Planet Fitness. It's the PF
PF.
shirt where they were trying to go and KFC themselves and abbreviate it.
Like most airboat tours you go on and then you get on and it's super like tame. You're on a row of seats and there's
like well, the one we did at the River Ranch was very tame for kids. You would love it.
And
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to go on one.
Yeah, you'd love it.
They do 180 and then you see some gators and they take you back or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not,
Yeah, you're not going on land.
It's a small airboat. I'm not catching gators.
Yeah.
Like for sure, they realize like, well, this is abnormal.
You're not
It's
drinking
illegal.
beer most of the time. Like
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
one we went on, you weren't allowed to have beer. Trust me, I'd have had one.
Yeah. I mean, just a cooler full of beers, as much as we could drink. We're
Right.
all loaded.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I think we were out there till like 11:30 at night, and the guy was like,
He's on cocaine.
he was back.
Everybody else wants to go home.
Like we were far out on the other side of Lake Toho.
You know what that means? We're gonna have to go over the hill again, and I'm out of coke.
Like, could you imagine? Like, from 5:30 in the afternoon to like 11:30 at night is too long for an airboat
Yeah.
tour. Like, we're all hammered. We had 6 beers apiece.
I will say, and I hope I'm not hurting any airboatmen's feelings when I say this. The airboat is fun, but it's about as fun as a jet ski. You do it a little bit, and then you've had enough, and then I'm like, I'm done. I did it for like 35 minutes. I'm good.
Well, if you're doing this and catching gators and going off, and
That's
where
different.
you
Break it up a little bit.
The standard tour is about you 180. You see a gator
about an hour and a
you
half, maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, that was it, and someone paid $1,200 to the mustard seed for that.
Did I miss the part where we determined why you had to have your head shaved?
He forgot.
Some
bet.
Well, it was at Mako's, and
Right.
they did some.
He would do these bets where, like, Tiffany would have to take one nude photo of herself and then show it to him, and he'd take a picture of it with his eyeball. And like, there's so many bets.
That happened with
Like,
them.
then there was one you're in the general leave with her, and then you were going to leave your wife, and then your wife was in the general leave with you guys at Thurston's used car. So many different. So many.
Every once in a while, I try to find that memory in my brain folder and then try to burn
in
it
your
back.
brain folder.
Yeah.
But it's fading, like Back to the Future.
You know
where
what?
I barely remember what it looked like. But
You gotta go to somebody that's a sketch artist and tell them to draw it out for you.
Yeah.
But now it's like morphed into
What you want it to be, so it's
yeah,
like
so-
exaggerated.
yeah.
It's like Cool World at this point.
Yeah, I know.
It's a cartoon.
It doesn't hold up.
Which is
I
your
went
favorite.
back. I went back to Cool World. Does not hold up, dude. It's all grainy.
Well, now they got much better tunes. Have you seen the
I've
the
seen 'em.
Frozen
Yeah,
one?
I've seen the Frozen one.
Yeah, the CGI.
Not, and it's like, not the reindeer. My God, what are you doing?
What?
Olaf.
Yeah, he's like, he got the reindeer and then like, where's his carrot? Oh, man. I like warm hugs.
Yeah.
Please, robots.
How are you not getting sued? Because this took some time, right? We're like, Disney's not
How
suing
long
you.
did this take to render? Hours to render that carrot? Good Lord.
Yeah. Like Disney didn't send a cease and desist. What? They didn't send a cease and desist? Like, you cannot portray our Disney princesses like this?
And they're doing all of them now. Even
It's the exact same.
Yeah, all the new stuff. They do it for everything. It's unbelievable.
Family
That's
Guy? Like, how does a Family Guy sue whoever did this porno of them?
Can we go back to airboats for a second?
Yep.
What is the smallest airboat you can have?
Oh, they make single.
I want a mini.
Yeah, they make mini.
I
Personal?
want a mini. I'm serious,
Personal
Sam.
airboat?
Sam, a mini, because, like, look, we don't have big areas around here. But
Yeah.
I got a lake right here. And I don't think I'm going to get in that much trouble if I just get in a mini airboat and I'll be able to
There's
pull
a
it.
Rascal mini airboat.
I can pull it with my car. How much?
I'm trying
I
to
want a
find out.
mini
Hold on.
airboat, and I want to wrap it Tom and Dan, and I want to lean in a little bit to this Florida thing that we love so much,
Oh,
right?
this guy built it.
I love Florida.
I don't know anything about airboating up in Central Florida except for like when you're driving to the coast between Titusville and Cocoa Beach.
Every
it looks like
airboat I've
all
seen-
Everglades out there.
I've only seen airboats exactly like your grandfather's, which I had the pleasure of seeing at his memorial service.
Yeah.
You guys had it out there, and you could see it, and it's pretty big.
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
good size airboat. I want a mini, like jet ski size.
Yeah, they do personal size airboats.
That
Ooh,
would
you
be
should
good.
get this Pro Boat Aero Trooper.
I love little boats, like that Craig Cat, all those stupid little boats.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
them.
Yeah.
I always
Personal
look at,
boats.
Yes, I like personal boats.
They remember when,
And I want to just drive.
That's a kayak.
I want to just drive it around. No, it's
No,
got to have
no.
an engine on it. I'm with
Yeah.
Tom on
John
this.
boat?
I'm with
No,
Tom
it's
on this.
gotta go
It's got
fast.
gas power. You got to
And
move. It's got to move.
I need,
Can't you like rig a John boat to make it go fast?
Yeah, no, John boats
Sure.
can go fast, but I don't want to hold the motor. I don't like that. I want a steering wheel, and I want either a throttle or a foot throttle.
I
Like-
would do airboat controls.
Well, what's cool about an airboat is you have a foot throttle, like a car, right? And then you basically
Foot throttle would be dope.
you steer it using the handle, which turns
Oh my God, they've got to have an electric airboat.
the
right?
rudders. I think it takes too much power.
Really?
Yeah, to turn a prop that big, because you need an aviation
Well,
prop.
you just need a giant. Well, you don't think the motor, in my Tesla could power a?
It could, but it would be so heavy. You need to be light. That's the thing.
Gotcha.
Like the airboat,
You're right.
It's all basically aluminum. It's like speaking
Dude,
of John
electric
boats,
airboat would be so fun
They
because
got 'em.
it'd be so quiet.
they have electric airboats.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube
How
riding
much?
one. I don't know if it's for sale.
Dude.
I think a lot of these people build their own.
Yeah,
Electric
yeah.
airboat though is the best because to me it's got the redneck, but it's also got the technology
Well-
because just that prop pushing air would be so quiet.
I mean, maybe if you substitute, like you'll need an electric motor, and that's way lighter than a big ass. Usually like airboats are either powered by like regular motors, like a car motor. Some of them are V8 or V6,
Oh,
or
this
like
thing's gonna catch on fire.
an airplane motor.
This redneck made his airboat electric.
It may be. I don't think it could last that long. That's the problem with it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, it's new.
because
They'll get there. They'll get there.
yeah. It will.
Not there yet, but they'll get there.
The
Because
more-
this guy did his, and that's exactly what I want.
Although sliding across
cool.
ice and snow is a lot less resistance than any sort of water or,
Sure.
or like
That's true.
land. You know, it's
Tighter
like,
packed molecules makes sense.
and it's also more slippery. Like you're on
Sure.
ice, you don't need that much power to push you, as opposed to you're on like sawgrass.
I
or
do
whatever.
think they have electric snowmobiles, but I could be wrong on that.
I
But
think they do.
I think
yeah.
that's the same technology that they're starting
Dude,
to put into four-wheelers and
dirt bike. I mean,
dude, electric three-wheeler would be the best of
Is that
redneck
what-
with technology. Electric three-wheeler make it even more dangerous, make it faster.
The three-wheeler's a death machine.
You couldn't even keep the back wheels down if you had an electric three-wheeler. It would have so much torque that you would just go right up and it would literally just slam you backwards into the ground.
yeah. Well, I mean, there's electric dirt bikes.
They're amazing.
And they're going to take over regular dirt bikes. I mean, we've talked to people that are in the race industry, and sooner or later there'll be all electric dirt bike races, and those motors will be more powerful and faster, similar to what they did with 4-stroke and 2-stroke. You know, it's the next evolution.
I just wonder how they're going to govern it and how they're going to eke them in, or they're going to have to do their own class at first and leave the other guys alone because they're not going to let them blend.
They let them blend when it was 2-stroke,
But
4-stroke.
I thought they hated that.
They did hate it, but it was a cool for everybody that was like pro one or the other at the time, because there would be.
Are there still any old timers that still rock a 2-stroke?
No, because they're so much slower comparatively
Right.
now that you'd have such a disadvantage. Now, in certain things like Travis Pastrana, and like when they do these like rhythm section Red Bull things, like he's famous for getting a 500 2-stroke on there and then winning on that.
But that's him.
But it's also a ridiculous 500 2-stroke that wouldn't even be allowed in the 450 division. Anyway,
Makes sense.
all right, we'll be right back.
Cool.
I forgot where I was like, hey.
Where am I?
We got it.
Thursday's done.
Good job, y'all. Good segments. All right. What to do now? We don't have any more guests today, right?
No, let's do let's do Friday.
Want to try and get Friday done before
Yeah,
lunch?
yeah. Because that way we won't have to do any more after lunch, and then we'll just get some business done, and then some things.
Business.
We need to organize the media tour for the Bad Business Beer Fest and some other things.
Sounds great.
Are you guys inviting all your friends to the beer fest?
That's what I'm going to work on.
Yeah. What is it? And then I
Ask
also.
in the chat.
Oh yeah. Then we need to come up.
We
with
need our street team.
Yeah. All I want to do is give out all the sample cups. If we could do that, it's a success.
Okay. Shoes on the news, yes, Ghost. Shoes on the news.
Yeah. We're doing shoes on the news again, which we vowed never to do again. But
We said we'd never do it.
as we get closer, we're like, it's one of those things where it's like, if we don't do it, then you're lazy for not doing it, right? And someone's got to see
You know
it.
what you should do, though? Just for a talking point, you should wear jeans and flip-flops. Just as a talking point. I'll do it, too.
But the only people that will care are our listeners,
I'll do it,
and
too.
they already know
Yeah,
about
but it's
the
a
beer
secret
fest.
message to them. It's like we're sending them
not-
QAnon messages. Like, we'll
No.
wear sandals, and they'll know that that's for the BDMs.
I'll tell you about the. Speaking of how you dress, I'll tell you about Hamilton tonight.
Oh, are you
Okay.
going?
Yeah.
What are you wearing?
Well, we'll talk about it on the show.
Oh, okay.
Okay, here we go. You start. 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. When is the last time you've checked us out on Twitch or possibly on YouTube? Just search Tom and Dan Live, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. You can find us on YouTube at Tom and Dan Live. And we do a live broadcast Monday through Friday starting around 10:30. You can check it out, and all replays you can find on YouTube later that day.
Also, subscribe to become a BDM. You'll get all the information first. Any new merch items we have first.
You get
we
it
have
first.
Private
Everything
parties. We have
embarrassing photos of Tom.
Yeah, we have a private
there.
group that we overshare a lot in.
Our BDM Facebook group. Also, we have shows that are BDM only, and you have to be a BDM to get those shows. And once you are a BDM, you'll get your name and password. You can enter in our app, and then you can get your BDM shows on our app.
Yep.
Like we just, our last one, I told stories, or the time before when I got back from Hawaii, basically it was all the stories from Hawaii, which a bunch of people are like, I didn't hear any stories. I'm like, they're all in the BDM shows. It was an hour of stories, and I had Crystal on there. And so if you want to hear any of that, just become a BDM, and it's at tomanddan.com.
We have an update from yesterday's show that we did. We're talking a little bit about Tom's bald head. Mm-hmm. It appears that the shaving of your head from way back in the day, done by one Tiffany Martin, our friend and owner of the Salty Sisters Bar and Grill, she does not remember shaving her head, not even a little bit.
Really?
Doesn't even remember it.
That's how unimportant you are to her.
Has she seen the picture? If she saw the picture, she'd be like, "Oh,
she saw it already."
She probably blacked a lot of the radio days out, right?
I'm gonna guess that's trauma. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's trauma.
Hold on, how could she not remember this? I remember specifically standing on stage.
Seems like it meant a lot more to you than her.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
she's probably shaved a lot of heads.
Yeah. Oh. Hey. Whoa.
No, I mean,
what?
I mean, we talked about it on the
What's
show the
Where
next
are
day.
we?
No, she doesn't care. She's a businesswoman now. You leave her alone and don't even. You know what? Delete the photo.
Oh, I was supposed to help her out with getting a sign.
You didn't help her with the signs?
You know what
she sent me a text yesterday, and I haven't talked about this. This is gonna make her mad, maybe.
All right.
She texted me yesterday. No, 2 days ago. She texted me on Tuesday, and she said it was just a picture of a meat slicer. And it said, "Does this look broken?" and I tapped the photo, and I did the thing where you zoom in. What the F is that? And sure enough, it is a commercial grade meat slicer. And I'm like, I don't know anything about meat slicers, so I'm going to assume it's not broken. It looks pretty good. And she goes, "Oh my God, I'm sorry. I mixed you up with my Chef Danny." So now she has a Chef Danny, and then she has this other guy, Tom.
She's going to start sending the wrong stuff to the wrong people.
She's bumbling like me.
She is very bumbling. She was trying to send you a message and send it to the drummer in Rocket Fly. She was trying to send a message to Danny the chef, but she sent the meat slicer photos to me. It's all hell. We got to help her. We love her, and we got to help her.
Well,
she's
she
in
took
the
on
weeds.
too much.
She's in the weeds.
There's
and we
so
gotta,
much.
Well, we
much
took on
like
too much.
Tom Van.
Yeah. She took on too much.
If only you were as gorgeous as Tiffany.
That we can't sell.
It's just
Airbnb.
too ambitious.
That's going to be the Salty Brothers Bar and Grill pretty soon. We're going to have to figure something out.
Grill hot dogs on the back.
I'm Chef Daddy. I guess I'm in there
Get that meat slicer.
slicing the meat. Just like the wrestler. Just like
I'll be
the
the
wrestler.
bartender.
Slice my thumb and run out of there and kill myself.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Tiffany because I totally forgot. She sent me a message. She's like, a sign guy. And then I'm like, yeah, I know. Well, here's another thing I'll tell you guys. Anytime.
Well, I know if I ask you for anything, you're like, yeah, I know, guy. And it doesn't even matter if you do.
That's the thing. Yeah. Because
you just love putting a smile on my face.
Also, I always want to be. I always want to say yes and be the hero.
You're the hero.
I love
you have
being
a hero complex.
Yeah. So when you ask me for a favor, I will say I could do it.
Yeah.
But it's a 50-50, maybe even less than I could actually do it, all right? But I'll say I can. So I said, yes, I absolutely have a sign guy. But I don't really, but I know a lot of people, and I know, I know a guy, I know a painter. He's kind of like a sign guy, right? Or like,
he paints around signs.
I think Vintage Paper Co. makes signs.
Yeah. Well, they kind of.
I think she wants a commercial grade installed.
Gotcha.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I know the layer bells.
This goes back to my question that I had about signs. Are like the Marlowe's Tavern on 1792.
Yeah.
The sign for Marlowe's is up, but they just reversed it. They put they reversed the sign so you can know. So it says Marlowe's backwards, and they put the sign portion facing into the sign, and then they reattach it. And I think I figured out why they do that. Because I've always wondered why, when you're driving by a business that's gone out of business, that is no longer there, why their sign is still up, and they'll just turn the sign inside out.
Instead of taking it down.
Why? I think I figured it out. This is just my guess. I thought about this. I didn't look it up. I thought about this for a very long time, and I was like, they probably did it to keep birds from making nests in there. That was what I just tried to go with logic. I was like, you don't want to get an eagle or something nesting in there. You don't want to, right? So it's better just to turn it right.
That's right. Yeah.
Turn it inside out
So it
until the
blocks
next business
yeah.
comes and it'll block them, and it's not a nuisance, and then you don't have to call the county to remove the eagles.
Now, my one
That's my guess.
argument, or
Please blow holes in it because I don't know if that's
well,
true.
No, that sounds 100% true. But I would then yell at the owner of the complex or whatever, whoever's in charge of that. Don't you have one blank so that you
Or
end
how
up
about just take the sign down and leave it as an open hole? I'm okay with
Well,
it.
no.
And then if a bird gets in there, you kill the birds when you put the new sign up.
Yeah,
That's
but-
just what humans do.
But if you had a blank, you could just take the business that went out of business, put the blank in, and it'll kill two birds with one stone. Except for the cages that you don't have to kill birds.
But then they leave the Marlowe sign up and they just turn it inside out and then they reattach it. And
But
I'm
you
like,
can
"Why?"
see it
Right.
here. You can see Marlowe's. Like I
all
see
it is all it is to me. See, if I were a failed business, not necessarily failed, just maybe you moved on. But let's say you were a failed business. I don't want that up as a constant reminder. Take that down. That's killing my brand.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
shouldn't see Marlowe's backwards. That leads me as a customer to feel like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
weren't popular enough to make it there.
Yeah, yeah.
right?
So the Tiffany sign thing, she then showed me a.
Says also to keep it safe from water damage. So you're kind of right.
But again,
Interesting.
have a blank.
Yeah,
That
I'm
you
with Tom.
slap-
You should
Yeah.
have one that says for rent.
Yeah.
Right.
Bam, slap that in there and then get that thing rented.
Yeah. Something other than turn their sign backwards.
Right.
Anyway, so Tiffany made a sign, but
She made one.
she made one by hand. This is like Tiffany's
She'll
a
get
hard ass
stuff
worker.
Done.
But the problem is the city of Cocoa Beach, and we know this from like Baldwin, like
Wait a
getting
minute, we know the mayor of
a-
Cocoa Beach.
do we know?
You do.
Not the mayor of Cocoa. I have no idea.
Oh, I thought you used to know them. Well, she's in Cocoa Beach, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Not anymore. Those, I mean,
Oh, I used
think
to have one of their numbers.
times have changed. I mean, they got a lot of turnaround, right?
Yeah,
I don't think.
yeah, you're right.
So, and also like the mayor. Although Mayor Buddy Dyer has been a mayor since I've lived in Orlando, like
Right.
20 years. So she needs, I guess, a sign company that will verify.
She needs staff too, by the way. So if anyone's looking for a kitchen job,
Oh,
hit
you
her
Well,
up.
what happened to Danny?
No, I don't know. Maybe they got Danny, but they need other people.
Oh, you know who just applied?
Who?
Our Italian buddy.
Giuseppe?
Giuseppe.
Oh, I love
Oh,
Giuseppe.
did he?
He's
texted
a
me-
wild man.
He said, I just applied to Tiffany's Salty
oh
Sisters.
my God.
And then he thought that I gave a good word for him. And then he's like,
give me a reference.
He's like, I got an interview already. Thanks for the reference. And then I'm like,
Oh,
I
no.
didn't even.
Oh, I think he put you down as a reference.
Oh my God.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. A lot of I tell everybody you
Giuseppe's a wild man.
can put me down as a reference for any job,
okay,
anything.
That's fair.
Just put my
So,
name.
should we help her steer clear of some of our friends? Like, so she's got
No.
Giuseppe, she's got Super Mario Ken, she's got Remy.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't.
No, but it'll be a cast. Then when you go there, you enjoy the calamity of Giuseppe.
I don't think anybody goes out to eat to enjoy the calamity. I gotta
But as
stop
our
you.
listener, no, you're there, and then you got Super Mario. He's he's getting your
God.
plates. He's falling down. And Giuseppe's back there.
He's got that old black wetsuit, beaver tail wetsuit on.
You're ordering a shrimp cocktail. All Giuseppe can make is pizza. So you just get.
Look at the bag. It's a sausage of mozzarella.
He's back there with a big hat. He's spinning the beach with his beach side. Like cocktail. And then,
Hey, it's the cold fire. That's the cold fire beer.
but then you're like, it's real. It's really happening. So you're laughing. It's a great
Hey,
time.
welcome to the Salty Sisters. It's just happy.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going for Italian eatery. What?
People like that.
I
And
don't
then
know,
because
man.
they see it's like cartoon world come to life.
I don't
and
want.
Tiffany's back there
Okay, hold on.
freaking out.
I don't want us to
Cool
be the.
world sound.
I don't want you and I to be anywhere near her restaurant failing. I
Yeah.
cannot. No, dude.
It's not gonna fail.
I don't think it will either. But I don't
She
even.
has-
That's how far I want to stay away from it.
Yeah,
You
but
see what I'm saying?
She's got the grit
She
to
does.
make to
she's super
persevere.
smart, and she's one of the best business people I've ever seen.
But
But I worry, man. Bar business is hard business. That is real,
yeah, I know.
gritty. That you talk about grit when you talk about your boys. Get them
Yeah,
a bar
yeah.
back job.
or
Grit 'em
bar
out.
ownership
Yeah.
is insane.
It'll grind you down.
Yeah, but at least if you're a bar back, you get some tips. You smoke in the back near the dumpsters. But when you're the owner, you're pulling your hair out. You're stressed. They're stealing your liquor. Your employees are stealing your liquor.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just a one about it.
when
yeah.
you're here, your family, right?
Well, they're giving their friends. You gotta put the Sharpie marks.
Hey, these are white claws on Giuseppe.
Yeah. That's what happens.
He's just giving out drink.
Yeah. I think that's a huge problem in the restaurant industry is your staff giving. I think Fernando told me that one time.
Well, you used to go up to Substantial, and then they just give you bags of food, and you just go home with it.
Yeah. But when it's a front for the mafia, they don't care. They don't look at the margins or whatever. They just need business so they could for the books.
Yeah.
But when you're not a front for the mafia and you're legitimate business, every fish sandwich counts. And then if
that's the shirt that got Kanye in trouble. It said fish sandwiches matter, and then got him in trouble.
And dude, the margins are small too. Anyway, but listen, the good thing is Tiffany's sister has
already
been
done
a bar
this for
owner
years.
Yeah. So there's experience there. So
go check out the Slide In.
Yeah,
that's a great little spot too.
The problem,
real bars. These are real bars, like beach bars, fun ass bars.
So back to the sign. I guarantee
she
Tiffany.
got a Touch Tunes. I love Touch Tunes. I'm addicted. I have an account. I've had an account, Touch Tunes account, for almost 20 years. Andrea got so mad last week. She said, "You spent $100 on Touch Tunes?" I'm like, "I like music."
But you guys home. Why would you do that?
I don't have my own music.
What do you mean?
I don't have my own music on here. I have streaming services.
Well, yeah, you can get any song you want.
But I can't listen to it at Lee and Rick's. I can't listen to it at Gators Dockside.
But then everybody's gonna listen to it.
I like to share my music with
All
people.
right.
I'm a Touch Tunes boy.
What are you wearing to Hamilton?
Oh,
You're going?
So
you are going.
I was.
But you gave your tickets to Tom?
Well, they changed the date on me.
Yeah. Well, I didn't mention. Let's not talk about that aspect because the
Keep
way
it hush hush.
Well, the way I presented it to my wife is that I thought she.
No, I want credit for this.
Wait, you gave him the idea, didn't you?
Well, I offered him the tickets. They were my tickets.
Yeah.
Well, she offered them to me first. But
I
don't do anything.
Yeah, we all got the email about the Hamilton
and
media
I don't
night.
want to see a bunch of old wigs rapping. Get out of here.
That's an old man. Hold on.
I don't want to see no damn rapping wigs. Get out of here.
Crystal really likes Hamilton. It's a good, obviously, it's one of the best musicals.
It's wig rapping.
It's
good.
That's out there.
Yeah, it's good.
So and we watched it when Disney Plus came out with it during Corona and the whole thing.
I can't believe it. You're gonna be watching it and you're gonna be rapping and dancing.
So they changed the date on Sam. So she's the only one that requested media night tickets, and then she couldn't go. So then she's like, "Hey, does anybody want to go to Hamilton?" And then I'm like, "Oh, I bet if I." Well, again, Hero. I bet if I tell Crystal I got tickets to Hamilton for date night, she's gonna be like, "Oh, you thought of me," and you're like, and this is what she wants. So
now, see, this is BS. I should get that credit.
No, well, technically,
text Crystal right now and say this is a lie.
By the way, I got you guys tickets.
I'll say you're lying.
Blow it up.
I'll say
blow up the whole company because of it.
I'll say she's crazy.
If you call me a liar, I will quit this job.
She's a crazy liar.
Oh,
I'll tell it to Crystal, but then I'll tell you I didn't say that.
So
she's not. You'll just lie to
everyone against each other.
Yeah, that's how you do. You lie to everybody. Don't you know? Anyway, so Crystal thinks I'm a hero, and
are you dressing as Hamilton to go to Hamilton? I hope so. But George Hamilton, spray tan, crazy spray tan, George Hamilton.
So then it's tonight, right? So.
Dude, I'm not going. You should know. You're the wig rapper.
And so then I'm like, well, what do you dress like? You have to dress fancy. It's at Dr. Phillips.
You could dress like you uncomfortably dressed at the Solar Bears.
Well, that's what she said.
You just wear your Solar Bears. Give them a standard uncomfortable Solar Bears.
Well, that's what she said. She's like, well, just dress like you did for the Solar Bears game. I'm like, I'm not going to Hamilton like I dressed like the Solar Bears. From Solar Bears to Hamilton.
Well, then wear
the Tom Hanks story.
Solar Bears to Hamilton.
Then wear a tuxedo. How about a tuxedo?
Well, I'm just saying.
How about a white tuxedo?
No, I don't need to dress that fancy. I'm just saying.
You have
suit?
a casual blazer?
He has a suit. No, he doesn't. Yeah, you do. You have your brown blazer that used to have the fur collar.
Oh, I can't wear that.
Yeah, you can wear that.
It looks like a vacuum cleaner.
You look like a Winnebago man.
Hey,
everybody, Winnebago man's here.
What am I gonna dress like? What's his name from Friends from the '90s? So
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing.
Oh, Chandler's getting into some trouble lately.
Just his memoir's coming out.
Yeah,
he said he spent $9 million to get
trashing on Keanu Reeves.
Oh, I think he trashes everybody in the book. I can't wait to read it. He spent $9 million to get sober.
All I've heard about Keanu Reeves is he's the nicest guy
Right.
in the world.
That's who would crap on that guy?
I don't know.
And then he rides the subway and he does like children's charities every. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
it's
right.
only good things. And then Chandler Bing says, what does he even say about him?
He basically wished death upon him. He was like, how come geniuses like River Phoenix and Heath Ledger died and Keanu Reeves gets to walk around among
God.
us? Yeah,
Was
that's
it a
terrible.
joke?
Was he trolling?
No, because he said he doubled down later in the book, I guess.
That's
I
like
mean,
a troll comment.
That's isn't he like? Didn't he start his career as a comedian?
It's weird to wish death on people, man.
Sounds like a joke.
And I've done it before, but
I
it's
don't
weird.
think it was a joke.
When you do it, that's not good.
I mean, would Matthew Perry really wish death on Keanu Reeves, or is it a
wasn't
joke?
technically like wishing death, but he was basically saying like it should have been this guy instead of these geniuses, according to him.
Well,
That's your opinion.
Right.
but that's gotta be a joke. No one says that for real,
It
right?
doesn't sound real to me, but
It sounds like a tongue-in-cheek joke.
it definitely makes me dislike him. But you know what? Here's something that happened to me yesterday that I think a lot of you guys can understand. Let's take Matthew Perry and let's take this comment that we've kind of telephoned into our show, right? We don't really know what he said because none of us have read the book, but we got the gist of it. And now we heard that phrase and we're like, dude, Matthew Perry, what a jerk. The number of emails that I got yesterday from people that were mad at Cadillac Pat for talking about actively running red lights was immense. People saying, you're being that flippant about running red lights? You could kill people. You're a jerk. I used to like you. And I'm like, oh, my God. But my point is everybody can say a little something because we're not all perfect and we're all different and we got different varying degrees of decision making and in consciousness with what we do, right? You're not going to like everything that everybody does or everybody
Of course.
says. That's just not realistic, right?
And also, we have a show where we talk about our flaws, and everybody talks about their flaws. And like, I'm sure Cadillac Pat knows that's a
Pat,
flaw
I think
and not
I can
a
hear it in
good
his
thing
voice.
to do.
Yeah, it's a bad thing to do.
But he's saying that he doesn't, and a lot of people do that. They just don't talk about it.
Right.
And then you could sit there and say, "Well, you're a horrible person for talking about it." But if you
Or
talked
you
about
could-
your flaws, we would say the same thing.
You could make the argument that maybe he's
yeah, let's
trying to do
highlight
better.
everyone's flaws.
Yeah.
Back to what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
oh.
need to know what the outfit
T-shirt,
Well,
jeans,
Well,
nice V-neck T-shirt jeans.
is. Ooh.
no, well,
Like a nice
V-neck and a blazer?
V-neck and a blazer would be very
Cute.
acceptable.
I'm the problem with blazers. I'm like as you know,
It's a mom car.
well, I feel uncomfortable in a blazer, and I don't know what to do when I sit down in my seat. Whether I should take it off or wear it in my
No,
seat.
don't wear it in your seat. My dad would punch you in the face. You take it off, you fold it over your arm, and you sit down like a gentleman.
Well, then I'm holding
Yes,
something the
'cause
whole
it's
time.
your coat.
So
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I'm not doing that. It's too far.
Too far.
But I will wear a big burnt orange Nautica dress shirt that's wide that I got at Ross.
That's called the Killer Mike.
Yeah. You can see my nipples through. It's thin.
No, it's not thin. They're thicko. Long sleeved it.
Yeah.
Long sleeved it.
We're like, why the sleeves so long? They're bunchy
You know
in the
what
middle.
when I see you with the shaved head, I'm sorry, from other shows ago, I go back to, I want you to have a do-rag and then a hat on top of your do-rag. You remember when that was a popular?
Yeah.
I want you to have do-rag
Tiger
and then a
King guy?
hat on. Yeah, like the Tiger King guy.
I wear it's not really a do-rag, but it's a headband, but it looks like
Yeah.
a do-rag. Especially the new ones, which I realize are...
So
This is going to hurt our sales, but are douchier because they look like the stereotypical red and blue, what are they called? Like
Like a buff?
No, like the handkerchiefs, not the handkerchief, but the red and blue pattern.
Oh, they look like old school, like a kerchief.
Yeah, well, like
Handkerchief.
the people would tie around their heads like
Do-rag.
like a gangbanger or
You mean Crips or Bloods?
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it would be that red or blue.
God, it's so hard deciphering what you're trying to say.
The hell is that thing called? It's not a do-rag, but it's a handkerchief, right?
Yeah, like a kerchief.
But the pattern we mimicked to have like Danger Brain did to have Tom and Dan thing. But anyway, from
I
far
think they look good.
but from far away, it does look like why is this old man have
A bandana on.
I just when I see you in a bandana, I always look like you're gonna play like ultimate frisbee or something. Like it looks like you're going to like, hey, where's the picnic? You know, like you look like kind of a cool dude.
I noticed how douchey it was when I saw what quarterback wore it recently in an interview after a game.
A lot of baseball players wear them.
maybe it was a baseball player. I
Yeah,
saw.
like Bryce Harper wears
Okay, yeah. And then he had
he's got a big thick beard. Yeah, and then you got Michael Harris from the Braves. He has a collection of them, and he'll wear like Iron Man. And then he'll wear like, Black Lives Matter, or he'll wear like one that has his picture on it, or a money sign, or.
I do it for utility because if I don't have product in my hair, it falls in my eyes.
That makes sense
It drives
to
me crazy.
That makes sense.
So after I wash my hair or whatever, I don't want to put product in again, so I just wear a headband to keep my hair out of my face. But these guys, these baseball players that are wearing it, they have perfect hair that's not going to, you know what I'm saying? They're just wearing it for fashion.
When you wear the bandana, the chat room is saying you look like Jailhouse Mike from The Office. Remember Jailhouse Mike?
Yeah.
That was a great episode. Now, I have voicemails.
God
Do you have
damn
any emails over there?
Sure.
Because we can just power through,
Let's
because
do it.
this is fun. Let's try this one right here. Remember that wetsuit talk and why wetsuits zip up from the back instead of zipping up from the front? We had a lot of questions about this.
Hey, Tom and Dan. You were asking about why they put zippers for wetsuits on the back. I was stationed in Italy from 1990 to 1992, and when I got there, I decided I was going to do ocean swims in the morning before work. And in the wintertime, it was kind of cold, so I decided I was going to buy a wetsuit out in town. And I got one off the rack at this little dive shop, and I went into the changing room. I put it on. It was great. Zipper in the front, old school, like they used to put them in the front. And I could not get it off. The reason why they put it in the back is because it's so easy to pull off from the front than to try to get it over your shoulders. I wrestled with it for 20 minutes before I got it off. I was too afraid to go out because, one, I didn't speak Italian that well at the time, and two, I didn't want to look like a stupid American couldn't take off a wetsuit. Anyway, that's why they do it.
My God,
Bye.
this is you in Italy. He's too afraid to do anything. Couldn't ask for help. Had to stay inside. I guess this wetsuit's part of me now, like Venom.
I understand the logic behind curling your shoulders down and then pushing it off your shoulders
Easier.
Forward, but couldn't you do one side at a time in the front and it be just as easy? Right?
I think you could, but I still think it's not as easy because I was going through the motions. And
yeah, I started thinking about it too. And if you have, I've had a tight onesie on or something, or a romper, and it is harder if it's buttoned or zipped in the front.
Yeah, because I'm not real flexible up here because of just being old, but also my body geometry, I can't.
If it's tight, it's gonna be hard.
Think about I can't reach too far. How far are you? Are you flexible enough to reach and scratch your back?
Yeah, no.
See,
I'm
I can't
stiff.
really do that. And I
Yeah.
think most men and women, but most men, I'll speak for men, our flexibility up top's not good. So you put that wetsuit on. I think if we got a wetsuit in our sizes and tried both ways, we would see why they don't do it.
But my thing is okay, so you zip. I'm using my sweater as an
Right.
example. You
Now you
zip
gotta-
down, and then I'm thinking you just
Yeah,
take-
but
then it's
that
tight
doesn't
on-
have any
Yeah.
give.
Yeah, you're right. And then you're okay. You're
You
like,
gotta
"Oh,
wiggle
yeah."
out.
You need that side to be so rigid because it is very rigid, man. When you're trying to pull that wetsuit down, it's thick depending on what millimeter you have.
Yeah.
It could be. I actually think that's what it's for. It's probably for older people and people that don't have a lot of strength.
Have you ever worn a dry suit? Those are weird.
I have not.
Dry suits are bizarre because they won't let wetsuits, they let water in and then they use the water as basically your insulation, and it warms the tiny bit of water that's in your suit, and then therefore that keeps you warm. That's basically how but the dry suits, they don't allow any water in. It's for ultra cold water, and it is I borrowed one from some. It was for a bit of some sort. And I wore a dry suit, and it is weird getting in water and then not getting wet.
You
not
come out and
feeling
you're
it.
good to go.
Well, just not feeling water on your skin.
That's
And
crazy.
it's bizarre.
Yeah.
And you're totally submerged, and you don't feel any sort of water. It's odd.
That's crazy. You got an email, Sam?
Sure. Let's see. TV being comforting. Hey, Dan, I'm a little behind, but I was just listening to Waiting for Ian, and I heard you mention that you liked the TV being on. I do the same thing, and I've never heard anyone else talk about it. I've tried to explain to friends and family, and they don't understand at all. They just look at me weird. The first thing that I do when I get home from anywhere is turn the TV on. It's basically on at all times. I don't even need to be watching or listening, but I kind of feel like somehow I'm connected to everyone else who's watching TV. Well, it was nice to hear what you said. If I mistook what you said or what I do, I'm sorry. It's just nice to know I'm not the only one that may feel that way.
No, that's what I do.
Yeah.
There's a
I
comfort
feel
in
like
the
that's an
TV.
old school thing.
Yeah,
That
it
is, yeah. Because I know people that leave their TV on at all times too, and they're not
Yeah.
watching it, and it's just on.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me because
It's like background noise, I guess.
I don't even have a TV.
But I just put music on or a podcast.
Yeah, I do a lot of music.
Like, I don't have a TV in my bedroom. And then Crystal was talking the other day
Yeah,
about
she was asking Andrea about it yesterday.
because she's like, maybe I do want a TV in the bedroom, like just to sit in the bed and watch TV. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a slippery slope because then that's how you become
I love
Willy
it.
Wonka's grandparents, where you never leave the bed.
No, I just finish out like games, or
Yeah.
it's fun to watch football, and I get it my
That
bed.
way you're already kind of in your bed, like
Yeah.
your bedtime routine. You're already in bed. You can watch something and then turn it off and doze off.
We've always had one in our bedroom.
I turn my
respect
vibration on.
what you guys do, not having one in there though. I do think it's healthier to not have one in there.
Well, but the problem is, like, yes, the science behind not looking at blue light and not having a TV in your bedroom and and not looking at any of that before, like, a certain amount of time before you go to sleep is sound. The problem is, I'll sit in my bed and look at my phone, which might as well be the TV.
I'd
anyway.
rather be on TV than my phone, really.
Yeah, so it's like it's not like I'm doing the proper thing
good
of like
point.
going to bed
Yeah.
and then eliminating blue light and doing the healthy
Right.
thing a scientist told me. We just never put a TV in our bedroom, and then we just stuck with that.
That's a good point.
So if I'm looking at my phone, it's the same damn thing. Although I feel like then we never use our living room. Like,
Yeah.
like we just watch TV in bed. Like, I know a lot of I remember parents growing up when I was a kid, they would only watch TV in their bedrooms. Like, they'd always be in their bedroom watching TV, never in the living room.
No, my mom and dad were older than yours, and my mom and dad were living room TV watchers. The only time dad would go to the bedroom is to watch wrestling or something he wanted to watch. So they would go, like when my mom wanted to watch the mini-series, I think it was an NBC mini-series, Shogun. You can look that up. It was the first time I saw my mom lusting after another man. Like, I'm watching her. It was like look up Shogun. Sam, I want to know the lead character. But my mom loved this guy, and I remember I'm watching Shogun, and my dad's like, I ain't watching that Japanese garbage, like whatever, something like
Oh, my
that.
goodness.
I almost said the real thing. And then he would march down to his bedroom, and they had a tiny bright white VCR TV combo, and he would watch wrestling on that. And
Richard Chamberlain?
Richard Chamberlain in Shogun. Yeah, Mama loved that. Woo! She'd get hot under the wig for old Richard Chamberlain.
You know, they should make a white TV or different color TVs. Why not?
Why they have BET? Black Entertainment. Is that what you're saying?
No,
You're on that again?
No, I'm just saying, like, you only can
I'm
get a
kidding.
TV in black. It seems weird. Like, there's no other color
You know why they
options.
don't do it anymore? Is because eventually that white TV and VCR
Oh, it
combo
turned
became
yellow.
mine, and I took it to college, and it was bright Caesar tooth yellow. Bright yellow TV.
Yeah.
Oh, disgusting.
Well, I'm just saying, like, could you make it brown or blue or red? Any other color? It seemed like the plastic has got to be next to nothing changing the color of the plastic.
You would think so. And can we start selling TVs with the mounting brackets?
Right? Yeah, it should come with it.
Yeah, why do you just give me the stand?
Nobody uses a stand.
I use the stand, but not because I want to.
Maybe they
You could have just bought them out.
Or a bracket. I don't want to buy a bracket for it.
Maybe they realize there's such an aftermarket, money to be made selling brackets separately that
Those
they don't want to
bastards.
add it.
Big bracket.
Yeah, big bracket.
Well, it's usually the company that sells a bracket too, or
Right.
maybe they have some sort of.
I always buy the cheap garbage. I'm a rocket fish man. Everything I buy.
Rocket fish.
Yeah, that's like Best Buy's perpetual brand. Like that's their proprietary, I guess, brand. Rocket fish.
I had no idea.
Bunch of rocket fish guard. Every USB cable I got is old stinky ass rocket fish. Let me get a voicemail.
How is
for
Best Buy still a thing?
For
I don't
people
know.
like me that need
Yeah, I
stuff
don't-
now.
But
you know?
what's keeping them going? I know people like Daniel that need stuff now, but there's got to be less and less of that. Like the writing's on the wall for Best Buy, right? Like it
I would
can't.
assume so, but I don't know.
Is it like
A lot of people out there is what I always say. There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah. But
You know,
it's
like somebody in our chat room
'Cause
said.
they sell like appliances too.
Yeah, well, somebody in our chat room was saying yesterday, they were like, don't be sleeping on Blu-ray or DVD discs and stuff like that. There's people in America right now that are still only on 56K modems.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
But the vast minority of them now.
I don't know. I honestly
gotta
can't
be.
make that statement because I don't know.
It's
I don't have
gotta
any
be.
knowledge of that. Like, I don't know if everyone has access to high-speed internet at reasonable prices.
Well, do you know anybody that still uses Blu-ray?
Personally, no.
Yeah. So that tells me that dead.
No, I don't. I don't have anybody. Here's one. Here's a voicemail for you.
Hey guys, this is Barry Joe. This is a message for Dan. I will totally agree with you on the Albanese. Some of those flavors are just a little too much for gummy bears, but they're yummy. It's a nice little sorbet, little snack in between the yummy flavors. But their sour gummy bears are top notch, and you cannot deny that. They are just chef's kiss. Only problem is they don't sell them in the big giant bags like I like. Yeah.
Gummy Bear Wars. Albanese gummy bears. Then there's like, what was it? Like Black Forest gummy bears. And then there's Haribo gummy bears.
I don't really eat gummy bears.
I'm a gummy bear guy. I like gummy candies. Gummy bear brand for me is Haribo. I don't like the Albanese. I don't want pomegranate. I don't want champagne. I don't need tangerine.
I don't need weirdo flavors.
Yeah, I don't need weirdo flavors. I don't need it to be. I don't like passion fruit. Does anybody here actively like the taste of passion fruit? I think it tastes like garbage.
Yeah, I can't believe anybody did. I mean,
It's
there's
yuck.
so much passion fruit out there.
Yeah.
And
I
no one
hate it.
Why
likes
are
it.
they forcing the
I
passion
think
fruit?
I
on us?
hate passion fruit.
Yeah,
You're
everybody
passionate
does.
about hating passion
No
fruit?
one likes
I'm
passion fruit.
gonna go hard on fruit for a second, if I may. I hate kiwi. You shouldn't eat anything
I don't like
that's
kiwi
furry.
either.
It's gross. It's yuck. Nobody likes it.
People like it.
Cantaloupe, it's okay. Could be better. Could be better.
I'm not a sweets guy, but when's the last time you guys have eaten a Pez? A Pez
God.
candy.
Last week,
Okay,
All
because
right.
I will tell you that
Maisie likes Pez.
Really?
that my
Yeah.
sons had a Pez dispenser. They're eating or whatever, and then
It's not even sweet.
Max gave me a Pez, and I haven't eaten
Dry.
a Pez in, I mean,
Chalk.
20,
Yeah.
30 years. I
It's
don't
got
know.
a tiny
Yeah.
bit of like citric acid in it and a squirt of sugar.
I ate a Pez, and I remembered 30 years ago them being delicious as a kid, like 35 years ago, and it was just
Fresh
chalk.
buds.
It was
fresh buds. Fresh
wa-
taste buds.
It was like eating a piece of chalk
Yeah.
that had a medicine type cherry flavor, like like
Same thing with like the Smarties.
it was like
I like Smarties. Like Smarties have a little more citric acid in. They're a little more tart.
Yeah.
Pez has nothing in it. Sweet tarts are boss. They're great. I've tried those lately. They're good.
and it proved to me why
Maybe I'm not a candy person anymore.
That's a good thing. Sugar is
Except for like chocolate.
sugar is really bad for you.
well, like candy or chocolate that
Trolli.
tastes good.
That's what I'm missing. Trolli.
But Pez,
Yes.
Pez and candy corn, all these
I like
nonsense.
candy corn.
Oh.
I like
It's
candy
disgusting, and it proves to me that all the content that I say is garbage, like Preston and all this other, Unbreakable, whatever the hell the
Yeah.
guy's name.
Kids have bad taste.
Yes, there's garbage.
Both physically and
Yeah.
in entertainment.
Exactly. You don't know if you like Pez and this YouTube channel, all garbage.
Basic
You-
bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's horrible. You don't know. You are dumb.
Yep.
You don't
Yeah.
know what's good, and this is bad. I like that. Pez, there's no one can say it's good. It's
Well, it's more
It's not
for-
even subjective.
It's more for the dispenser, right?
It can't be subjective.
I think here's where I would, like, if I'm just trying to use my brain on Pez. I don't think they can make the candy as good as they want it to be, because if they put a high concentration of sugar, those candies will be susceptible to moisture if they're being held in that tiny little like dispenser, right? The Pez dispenser. So it has to be a low sugar, chalkier product to keep it from becoming a mess within the dispenser. That's my thought on it.
Now, I would counteract that logic
Please.
by the example of nerds. They are able to have
Yeah.
nerds all together, and seemingly they don't clump into one rock after a certain amount of time.
But they can if they get moisture.
You get that nerd rope.
Yeah, they
But
can.
Also, why
It's in
has
a box.
Tic Tac not come out with dispensers? Like little fun dispensers.
Yeah, like Tic Tacs. If
Well, I
Tic
think-
Tacs aren't bad, they're pretty good. They're better than Pez.
I agree.
They are better than Pez. Orange Tic Tac used to be my jam when I was a kid. I would
Yeah.
actually ask for orange Tic Tacs for Christmas. I liked them so much.
Oh.
Crystals are
You'd think
red
they'd
Tic
get in the
Tac.
dispenser game, right?
Crystal likes red Tic Tacs.
Yeah,
The cinnamon ones. Those are
yeah,
good.
and
Oh, the Red Hots.
They're great.
and she can't find them. And I remember, speaking of Christmas, I'd get her for Christmas.
I think it's because the
track 'em
dye,
down.
the red
You better
number
start
5.
tracking them down now, buddy.
Red
Christmas
number
is
5.
coming up.
Red number 5 make your pubes fall out.
Oh man.
Yeah, but if
what do you think happened to Tony Palmiotti?
Oh.
why did I say that?
Red Tic Tac. I'm joking.
Let's do email.
All right,
Okay.
email.
Speaking of Cadillac Pat, this is from Pat. Hey gang, it's 3:33 a.m. right now, and I just woke up from a crazy dream about you all. I won't get into the details, but it had to do with the beginnings of your talk radio/podcast journey. Do you all remember what got you to want to be in talk radio? Like, was there a specific thing or person that got you into it? I'm sure you have all said it a million times. I just want to hear how you all got into it. For me, I think it was Howard Stern's movie Private Parts in '97, and then I started listening to him on the way to high school. Have a good day.
So how we just even started liking talk radio?
My dad.
Yeah.
My dad liked
I
real
would
radio.
probably say my mom because
And
she listened to real
yeah,
radio.
my dad liked Howard, and my dad liked Jim Phillips.
I never liked Howard.
And so, my dad liked Ron and Ron. Like, he liked all those crazier,
Yeah.
and he was a traveling salesman, so a vast majority of the content that he would kind of take in throughout the day was radio.
Yeah, my mom was a Howard Stern fan, or at least she listened to
That's
talk
cool.
radio. And then also, I remember when I was a kid, like she would say, "Hey, put on like this talk radio at night. It'll help you sleep or whatever, or something to listen to." Which is not, I don't think, like I wouldn't do with my kids.
Well, they got the iPad.
Because, well, even at night, I mean, you could tell Alexa to tell you stories, but that just keeps them awake because they're
Yeah.
listening to the story.
Yeah.
But I would just sit there and listen to talk radio like 11 o'clock at
I
night.
would too, yeah.
And it would be like a love line.
Passion phone.
Yeah. So
With Aaron Summers.
type of deal where it'd just be callers calling in and talking about like their love life or whatever, and it's just like listen to that. I
Yeah.
think that just indoctrinated me to like talk radio. Plus, it always made more sense if you're trying to pass the time, like doing some sort of job or riding in the car, that talk radio was more interesting to me
I
because
enjoyed the conversation.
rather than music, because like all of a sudden you'd zone out. You'd listen to these conversations, and then all of a sudden hours would pass by. So it was like a time
I also
killer.
liked a lot of like just straight up radio DJs that played music, like J Love and Nikki Knight.
I remember Nikki Knight. That's crazy.
See, I never listened to the music part of it.
Yeah, I would listen to I remember when Bubba the Love Sponge was on XL 106.7. That's the
Was
first
he?
time I heard him. Yeah, you can look it up. He was on there, and I remember him getting fired too. He would do the most vulgar stuff on XL.
When did he come on? At like afternoon?
I want to say no. I want to say he came out in the evening.
John Boy and Billy.
It was like a late time. Oh man, I used to listen to them in the Carolinas when I was doing.
forced to listen to
Yeah,
that
I would
in
listen
the
to a lot
car.
of John Boy and Billy, and what was the guy that would do commentary on John Boy and Billy?
I can't remember.
Something. It was like an older guy. Every like Southern radio show always has one older statesman that has to come in and gripe about something that's really grinded up his grits.
Yeah.
And it was just a formula.
But I remember when I moved to Orlando to go to UCF, I knew that they played Howard Stern on 104.1.
Yeah.
So, but I would never, I was a college kid, so I never woke up early enough. So I'd catch like Monsters in the Midday. That's how I, got to know Daniel, and eventually, and then like Phillips File, and
Yeah.
then Drew. Mainly, I'd listen to Drew at night because
I just talked to Drew yesterday. He
was
was going to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, it was more the time that I had, it started at 7, so I was always up late in college.
That's cool.
And then that's how I got the internship.
The name I was looking for is Robert D. Rayford. Robert D. Rayford. Doesn't that sound like a grumpy old man?
They're still together, man.
Yeah, well, I mean,
They're in North Carolina.
You can't say that and you may not like them, but you can't say they're not successful. It may not be your cup of tea, but I think they did a good job.
Is there, what's weird to me? I guess this will happen in like, it will be a similar thing, but just with podcasts and YouTube shows and stuff where, because I started thinking about like, how most people got their career in talk radio was they were a listener, a fan, and then they started interning, right?
Right.
Like most people.
That's what happened to me.
Well, they get into radio, listen to that radio station when they enter. Like very few, I feel, just got randomly placed there as an intern, right? Like they knew the show,
Yeah.
which makes sense because they knew the show well, and that's what made them successful at that particular show.
Yeah.
Because they knew the personalities, they knew what was entertaining and stuff. Is that going to happen with like the Logan Paul podcast?
Oh, Impulsive.
Impulsive. Like they're gonna have interns that eventually get their own shows that become popular.
That's already happening.
It's actually happening right now. I'll give you a good example. The show Tiger Belly, which
Yep.
is Bobby Lee's podcast. I like that show a lot. It's gone a little off the rails in recent months because he and his, I guess, girlfriend or wife, whatever you want to call it, Kalila, they separated. They broke up. And everybody didn't think that was ever going to happen. And the internet, they're a big show, right? But then a few of the people that were working and producing his show went and have been doing their own show, and it's becoming just as popular. And you're seeing exactly what you're talking
there's
about.
been a lot of like split offs.
Absolutely
and
happening
starting their
now.
own shows.
All right, so
Totally happening
the
now.
same thing.
I mean,
it's
I
just
started
the same.
semantics, guys.
Same.
No, I
Eventually, I'm gonna ease on out.
know. no.
Give me a timeline on that, please. I have a child.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. It's the exact same things happen. It's just a different
is.
form.
It really is exactly the same thing. I will say though, what I'm seeing this time that I feel bad for a lot of these shows is when they do split. The internet is such a prevalent place now compared to when like we split or when other people split, right? Like we were lucky that, we split 10 years ago, whatever, because the internet hate is real, man. It's crazy how toxic it gets in like some of their Discord groups and Reddit groups and stuff like that. And people are extremely opinionated about stuff they don't even know.
But you got to look at it to even know it exists. If you never look
Correct.
at it,
That's
it's
correct.
then it's nothing. It's and so it exists somewhere. And if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. All right. Well, bye-bye.
Got it. All right. Good job,
We can do the intros.
All right.
Let Twitch see the intros.
Yeah, let's do an
Yeah.
intro. Let me save this guy for Friday.
Now they have a red Tic Tac that's also red apple. I'm assuming that's not the one she likes.
No, it's a cinnamon one. Yeah.
Cinnamon one is very good.
I think it's hard to find if I remember.
I wonder why.
I think they're seasonal, right? Maybe. Could be wrong.
Cinnamon a more
Yeah,
fall.
something like that.
I can get you a whole motherfucking pack right here on Amazon. Comes in the 4-pack for $11.
$11.
It's a 4-pack.
Surprise her with some Tic Tacs at Hamilton.
Yeah.
What time do I
Get a
have to be
Cinnamon
there?
Heroes BJ.
Ooh, spicy. Get a cinnamon.
It was in that email I forwarded you.
Well, it says from 7 to 8 is check-in. So can I get there
Don't you screw me over on this.
7:30,
Yeah, should be
9?
Because then I won't be able to get any more tickets. And then I'll have to kill you.
You're brave. Oh.
Yeah, as long as it's before 8, you should be good. Don't let Crystal make you late.
She will.
Tell her you have to be there before 7:30.
No, because then the wrath of us standing around waiting.
Well, you
Buy
gotta,
her a couple drinks.
You got to get in line
and-
to get a drink.
Yeah.
That's 20 minutes right there.
Yeah, but you don't know.
Okay.
Like, the logic, you throw logic out the window. I hope I have a seat, an aisle seat, because with
have
all
to
these
pee-pee.
things, I start having to pee-pee because I was like,
You
have
can't
a
go
couple-
pee-pee in the middle of George Washington's rap. The
Well,
fuck is wrong with you?
I don't
God.
like bothering people, so then I have to
I am
pee-pee.
George Washington. Look at me here. I am the president.
And then all I could think about is like, oh god, I'm pee-pee, and then I'm like, but then I have to do that move where I'm like, I have to get up. Why don't they make the aisles wide so people don't have to stand
I
up?
agree.
Like everybody has to stand up every single time. I know
Excuse me.
that you're trying to pack it all in
Also,
there.
make the goddamn chairs bigger.
Do you go ass to face or dick to face when you leave, when you exit for beer?
I have to do ass to face. You can't do dick to face.
I go dick to
No,
face
it's
every
weird.
time. Every time I'm
No,
walking,
no.
I'm like, excuse me,
No,
and I
no.
thrust.
No.
I thrust my cock at
I
everyone.
do pussy to face.
Pussy to face.
do?
right here.
Yeah,
Cock to
because
face.
because if you're going this way, you're more
You're
than
rubbing
likely
your
sticking your
ass.
butt
Yes.
closer to their face. And when you go this way, you can kind of go the other way.
Because you don't bend as
Then
well.
your ass
You
is to
don't-
the back of people's
When you
heads.
bend your
Yeah,
ass
yeah.
over, it pokes out. Well, you can't do that the front ways because you're not made that way.
But I don't want to stare him in the eye.
Don't
as I
stare
walk.
him in the
I
eye.
look him right in the eye and I
I
thrust
look down
my-
at my feet so I make sure I'm not stepping on their feet or, their beards.
drinks.
Yeah.
I do a lot of
the
thrust
purse.
look. Thrust
Right.
look.
Oh man, I one time kicked a beer into the guy's
see?
wife's purse.
That's why you gotta look down.
Oh,
Oh,
and,
that's
oh
a
my
fucked
God.
up.
A
A full
Louis bag.
beer.
A Louis bag.
A full beer too, and I was like, oh.
What did you do? You bought him a beer?
I pretended like no. I just like, excuse me, like I kicked it. I was like, oh.
Did you never go back to that seat?
No, I
He
pretended.
drove home
I think I went in through the other side.
with a fake mustache. Hello, senor.
Just make the aisles wider so we don't
I
have to
agree.
stand up.
What was Thursday?
Because then I
Tim?
gotta pee again, and then I'm like, oh my god, these people are gonna be so mad because I just went to pee, but I've been drinking, and I can't hold. I have
You have a tiny bladder. We
You
know.
gotta start getting Depends.
no. I'm not
I
gonna
want to start
pee-pee
wearing
my
Depends.
pants.
Do you know how much fun that would
It's all
be? to
bu-
just
it's
keep
all
bringing me
bunches.
beers.
No,
Just-
they've made them like tighter now, where
Yeah.
it looks fashionable,
Yeah, but then when you
and they're black.
but you gotta sit in your own pee-pee, right?
Yeah, I mean
I
it,
don't-
it absorbs. Though.
Yeah, but then it's like a wet gel pee-pee gel. You're sitting in. There's a hot, and then it gets cold. That's the worst. Because you pee yourself at first, it's hot, and you're like, oh, that feels like a hot tub. But then it gets
how
cold.
often are you peeing yourself?
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's talking about in the ocean.
So we talked about Tom Van Club. We talked to Chris Gwaltney. We talked to Aaron from OCLS, and then we talked about Bundle Justice, which was Tom's after storm cleanup talk.
All right, Friday.
Friday we just did voicemails, emails, Pez dispensers, from Solar Bears to Hamilton,
Okay.
wig wrapping.
All right, let's do it.
I got some.
3, 2.
Hey, I started throwing just all my garbage and trash on top of all my yard debris from the hurricane.
That's good.
Um,
Hide it. You need to hide it.
well, I figured they're going to come by and pick it up anyway,
Yeah.
so all garbage can go
Well,
on
they'll get
there,
the
yeah.
trash first, and then
Yeah.
they'll get the bundles of sticks. Did you bundle them?
No.
Perfect. All right, and then the next one is voicemail and Pez dispensers.
I got some.
3, 2.
Hey, I'm getting Tony to make some Tom and Dan Pez dispensers.
Oh,
Is that-
man, I love Pez dispensers.
yeah.
Pez is a little gross.
Well, even there are 4 pain pills, though.
Ah,
That's where our listeners come in.
genius. Thank you. All right, and I'll